Welcome to Wiretap Truths. My name is Jesse Perez. I'm here outside the crib in Long Island. Fresh night where you can actually stand outside because you can
Yeah,
ask Jack this month. You couldn't even stand outside because of how freezing we got it out here.
it's over 30 degrees now
Yeah, which is like
outside.
summer to us
Yeah,
right now.
it was a
Well,
brutal winter.
yeah, it was bad.
It was
Um,
something just uncomfortable. Now it's all right.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like I said, you could actually hang out outside here. I'm joined by Mr. Wiretap Troops Leland and our resident comedian, Mr. Jack Simmons.
hmm
Um, we own the city episode 6, and guys, I gotta be
Second half.
honest, man, I'm done.
Don't do it. Don't do it yet. Don't do it yet. Don't even do it yet. Whatever you're gonna say, just wait.
Okay, don't give my reservations on the
Don't
episode.
do
You
it yet.
say?
Don't do it
Okay.
yet, bro. Wait till
All
we
right.
wrap, bro. Wait till we wrap.
Oh, okay. All right. So Jack, you wanna start us off on the episode?
Sure. Oh, also happy Valentine's Day, right? To all the beautiful ladies out there. You know where to find us, all right? And
Y'all,
yeah,
not me.
find us. Not to make it creepy right off the bat. That was
Yeah,
horrible.
To
All right,
find
take
me, to find me and Jack.
yeah,
yeah. The
yeah,
singles of the show.
right,
Leland,
exactly.
Leland is taken.
That's
Happily
fair. That's
married.
fair.
What did Prayer say to McNulty? He said, McNulty was
I'm a
like,
married man. He
no,
asked
it's
him
that
something
part,
like
but he
that.
was like, if the fortune said, if it's a she, then you have a fortune. And Prez was like, man, I'm married with lawn furniture, bro. Bro, I got lawn furniture, bro. I'm happily married.
Dude, I don't even have house furniture. I would love that. That sounds great. But yeah, that was weird. All right, like take two. So back to We Own the City. It's nice because we did this whole thing, and it's only taken us like 4 months to review 6 episodes. So it's great that we're got this.
Well,
Uh,
to be fair, 6 episodes of We Own This City and 8 episodes of The Wire season 2. So
that's true. No, I know.
On
I'm
top of,
just
I don't even know how many interviews we've done
right.
in between, and I think we did a top 10 cold open. I think we did. Were we shooting We Own the City when we did the Jeopardy? Y'all remember?
I think so.
I
Yeah,
don't.
we
Maybe.
were doing a lot. We were juggling a lot of things.
And the tributes. We did the
Oh
tributes
yeah,
too.
We did tributes. We did a recap of season 1, episode 1 with Kamal Bostic.
Yeah, it's been a lot, man. It's been a
yeah,
lot.
man. It's been a tough. No, it's not been tough. It's been a lot. Yeah, no,
It's
I'm
been a
just
lot.
busting our balls here.
It's been a lot.
It shit happens, and then you're like, oh wait, I gotta do this. So then everyone's got their own schedule, and it's complicated, man. We try to do it all. We want to do as much as we can, but we're here nonetheless. We
We
finished.
here
We own the
nonetheless.
city. We
Let's
finished.
do
We
it.
own the city. The and yeah, I had mixed feelings about the end of this show. Uh, like it's kind of it's more like an epilogue to a book. This epilogue, right? Yeah, prologues before. Okay,
Hmm.
epilogues after. Yeah, so it's like the epilogue where it's like everything already kind of wrapped up, like the main plot points. This is more just like the aftermath, and it's mainly just about the commentary on the issue more than anything. Like it's just
Yep.
most of the scenes are just people talking about their own opinions on the drug war. Um, but like the way it starts off is it's the first time that Wayne Jenkins meets those detectives, not the investigators from the FBI, and
Yep.
they're trying to do a proffer session to see what he's willing to give up in order to save himself. And
And I
right
love what
off
he
the bat,
said too, Jack. What he said to the attorney, he's like, shh, I know what I'm doing.
yeah, exactly. Anytime you talk over your own attorney, it's interesting the way the show portrays attorneys. I thought was like very
They look
different from The
down on it
Wire.
slightly. They
Yeah,
look down on them a little bit.
but they're also just like quiet. They're in the background mostly here, whereas in The Wire, they're like they have more.
Front and
They're
center.
yeah. They talk and we hear their opinions, and here they're just like you don't really hear from them ever. They're mostly just kind of there. They let their clients do a lot of talking. I guess it's different because they're representing police rather than drug dealers. So police and lawyers already have that combative relations, you know what I mean? So it's like, and this guy is trying to do right by Jenkins by telling him like you gotta talk to these people. But yeah, he right off the bat, he's like, I don't know anything. I wasn't involved. I'm innocent. I'm not.
He said, well, first of all, I'm innocent.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is like the best way to just start off. Like, all right, you got us there.
And Jack, the lawyer, when he said that, bro,
Let's
the
start
lawyer
there.
looked like,
Yeah, what the
bro,
fuck are you talking
what are
about?
you talking about, bro?
Because he definitely didn't tell his lawyer, like, hey, I'm going to say this. He probably told his lawyer, I'm going to go and cooperate, and then just was going to do what he does anyway. And his lawyer is just completely like, God damn it. Like, you're ruining your one chance to get out of this thing relatively clean.
And then when Buddy with the glasses, he's like, he said he's innocent. He's like, hey, Wayne, you're not early here, kind of
Right.
thing. I love that little dialogue. Like, bro, you not ahead of the curve here,
Yeah.
bro. You got years of shit on you, bro. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, dude. It's like the question of his. It's not even the question of his innocence is not even relevant. It's like they're not to determine whether or not he's innocent. They know he's guilty. They're just saying like,
Exactly.
how much are you willing to tell us at this point? He's playing like a different game. He thinks he's being investigated. Like he thinks he's just been arrested, right? And they're just trying to find. But he doesn't realize like they did a whole year's worth already to put him behind bars for a
Yep.
long time unless he can help them out.
There's
And
so much delusion from him in
mhm,
this episode, bro. There are some scenes here, Jack. I was rewatching it again today earlier, and I'm like, bro, what the fuck, bro? Are you
yeah.
this delusional, bro? What are you talking about?
Oh yeah. This episode, what I liked about it is that it really delves deep into Wayne's psychology, and
Mhm.
he's actually like, even though he's such a like a bad guy and a flawed person, there are some things about him that are sort of like relatable on an innate level. You
But
know.
you know what, too, Jack? Because of how good an actor John Bernthal is, I ain't never met Wayne Jenkins in my life. I don't know
Mhm.
in real life if he's as likable as John Bernthal playing him. I
Right.
don't know. I don't know. Like that's hard to gauge
Right.
from some of the stuff that I saw, like from the documentary and stuff. He definitely has some charisma, but
Mhm.
John Bernthal on the screen, he almost makes the character likable. Like,
Right. Well, it's like the
I don't
same.
know if it's like that in person.
No, yeah, I get what you're saying. It's kind of like the same. People had that criticism of The Wolf of Wall Street when it came out. They were saying
Oh,
like Jordan Belfort's are not alike. He's like a weasel piece of shit, and you get Leonardo DiCaprio, like the biggest movie star, to play this guy. They felt like it's not fair because this guy should be played by like a less charming actor or something. You
Well,
know?
even in
he
present
was
day when he
charm.
speaks,
I mean,
it's
he
like
had to be charming on the phone for those cold calls, right? So
yeah,
Yeah,
nah, it's
exactly.
true.
But and so I get the I mean at the end of the day it's like they wanted John Berthel because he's John Berthel and he's the big they wanted a big they didn't want Bob McFuckface the random actor from backspace
Back pages.
back pages, yeah, they're gonna get an actor from back pages. Back was it backstage? That's the actor website, dude. That's I made that mistake because I remember wanting to be an actor, and somebody was like, "You should go on backstage.com," and I'm like,
Uh-huh.
I know how you got your roles, but I'm not trading any favors,
That's funny.
for roles. But yeah, so it's kind of the same thing of like, and I
Backstage
know we
was actually a newspaper. It's still a newspaper, the print version that used to come out every Thursday for
oh really
aspiring
okay.
actors. Yeah.
Oh wow, I did not know that. And that's how the website got its name. That makes sense. I'm on backstage, so if you want to, anyway, book me. Let me know. But so that's how it starts. Is he's just completely delusional, and he wants to just confess his and play mind games, and they're just bored with it at that point,
Yep.
and they don't even try arguing because like once they realize there's no point in talking to this guy, they
He
just
said it's concluded.
yeah.
And Wayne said, "What do you mean it's concluded? Like, what do you mean? What do they mean? You're
I
not
like
giving
that.
them nothing. It's time to go."
And he asks Jency, he's like, ma'am, don't you have anything to ask
And
me?
it's like, bro, once the feds have you, bro,
Yeah.
they got you. It's not a
Yeah.
lot of wiggle room in terms of you beating a federal case. Like
Right. Ex-
it's not a hot chance.
exactly, because it's like for the feds to get involved at all, there has to be meaningful proof that somebody's going to jail. Like when a federal investigation, when they drop charges, it means they have enough evidence to where they think they can put a lot of money towards putting you behind bars here.
And I
Um,
don't know if it's and maybe one of y'all can research this and verify it. I don't know. I've always heard it's a 90. They have a 99% conviction rate. I don't know if that's true or not, but
the
I
feds.
mean, yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
I
know if
never
that's
heard
I
that.
true.
don't. I don't. Well, you're talking about for RICO cases or something.
Yeah, maybe it's something specific, bro. Maybe.
I think I I don't know if it's 99%, but if you're caught up in a RICO, you're done, right? You don't like
Right.
because they don't. It's it's years of evidence on you. It's not like when they get you, which I kind of surprised. I was surprised by Diddy kind of getting away with it because I kind of first of all I never heard of a one man RICO. That I never, I mean, I'm not in law enforcement, so I don't know, but I've never heard of a one man RICO. And
Hmm.
the charges they had on him, I was kind of like, he might actually end up beating this thing because the stuff that he actually got, the stuff they actually nailed him for, I think is not what they wanted to nail him for, which was pretty interesting. So I think that's like a rare case. But usually in a RICO, they usually have tapes and evidence of and other people. So that I guess that might come into play for the conviction because it's kind of like
Hmm.
once you're in RICO, you're done. you you're facing you're facing football numbers,
Yeah.
So
Exculpatory evidence. Yeah, they call
It
and
says it's two things. First, I'm gonna touch on or second, I'm gonna touch on the Diddy stuff. But it says the federal conviction rate is approximately 99.6% when you include plea deals. That's
mhm,
what
mm,
that's the 99%. And the Diddy
yeah,
stuff, man, that man got so lucky. He got really lucky. He really could have. He really didn't even get charged for stuff that he could have gotten charged for. Like,
right.
he really got the little 4 years he got. If he wasn't worth $1 billion or
Or
$800 million,
if he hadn't been like a beloved celebrity, yeah, that's the
well
thing.
no chance.
they were trying to charge him for it. I think some of the stuff kind of fell flat, like the Kid Cudi's car. That's just a testimony on Kid Cudi.
But it's true.
Like,
Again, that's
yeah.
true. That is true. He
um,
did put a bomb in his car.
so
Like,
I when it,
like,
yeah, yeah, but
He's like a
I'm
super
saying
villain.
that
He
was
just
bro, he really is, Jack. And we're not gonna spend too
yeah,
much time on it, but
could have our
bro,
own Diddy
he
podcast.
really got lucky. He really got lucky.
yeah,
Anybody that can defend him after watching what he did to Cassie in that hotel room on camera, it's different when you hear about it. It's also different when you see it. You can't
yeah.
unsee him stomping that 95-pound girl out and dragging her down the hotel and throwing shit out. You
Yeah,
can't unsee that.
but
You
yeah,
know?
yeah. I'm not defending. I'm just talking about the
Yeah.
facts.
No,
I'm
he
just
got
talking
he
about
got lucky. He
I'm
got
talking about the
he
facts of the case. Because
you're
like
right.
the Cassie stuff, they couldn't even use that against him.
Right, exactly.
That was so like he couldn't even be found guilty of that.
Oh yeah,
So
right.
like
Mm,
when the actual stuff that he could be found guilty for, I was like, oh, he might. It's like he might actually beat this shit. I don't know, but then I
right.
think prostitution over
Yeah,
state
they
lines
couldn't beat
is
that.
what
But they
they.
were trying to charge him like
Yeah,
as a kingpin, as the main person or whatever.
And
I don't
also
even
like a sex trafficker. They tried.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know who
well,
the other people
that's
were.
what it was. So I think because I think what they actually nailed him on, I might be wrong. Somebody could correct me
It
if I'm
was
wrong.
prostitution. I know
It
that.
was it was for getting strippers over state lines, and
Hmm.
so that's kind of like sex work, trafficking sex work.
They tried to include the fact that he
Yeah,
was traveling across state lines. They tried to say like it was guns involved. He was a master
yeah,
sex trafficker, master of the sex traffic ring, and there was guns involved, drugs involved that were also traveling through state lines, kind of thing.
yeah.
Mm.
Like
That was his
so.
college degree. He got a master's in sex traffic.
Yeah, man, no, yeah, that man is a super villain, bro. He was
Did you ever see
man.
that video of Tyler it was on Halloween and Tyler the Creator is like in a car and he's driving up and Diddy's at a traffic light dressed as the Joker And he's like, Tyler, the creator. I am. He has like a fake gun in his hand. Yeah, dude.
Nah, he
He's
I
off.
sick.
saw
Diddy's off
I
the
saw
chain.
him I saw him as the Joker and the actor who played Two Bit, you know,
Yeah, and they
Chicago.
had like a little confrontation on a Halloween a few years ago. Yeah.
That's great.
And
Yeah, man.
What's the
speaking of
funniness? He
Two
was
Bit, for
actually a
all my
pretty good
Power
Joker.
fans, bring Two Bit back to power. For all my Power fans, goodness, what are we doing, Power fans? Bring him back. All right, Jack, where were we, bro?
All right. Uh, so oh yeah, so they basically like, all right, well then who planted the drug is in Umar Burley's car? And he's just like, well, I didn't do it. And they're like,
Yeah,
well, who did?
I
He's like,
don't
I'm
want to
not gonna
say.
tell you. Yeah.
I don't
And
want to
they're
tell you
like,
right now.
okay, let's leave. And when they leave, the camera angle is great because it shows his face, and he kind of realizes like, oh wait, I probably should have said some. At that last second, you see that look of regret, but it's too late at that point. He's like, wait. Um, and his lawyer gives him a look. Well, you fucked that up. Always listen to your lawyers. Okay, they know what they're talking about, especially if you're under
And,
federal investigation where they have
right.
wiretaps and they have witness testimony and
So,
everything.
question then, like, if Wayne Jenkins was the one in charge, who would they have wanted him to give up? Like, what could he have given them to even shorten his time? I guess. Like, what?
Maybe the higher ups than him, like Palmier or that guy Gladstone. They had. Yeah, it's true. I guess they're trying to just get as much information as possible, and um, maybe on other officers. They're always looking for like a trade off. You know what I mean? Um, and so he's trying to like get away from like what's happening and like and then not tell them what and then that's the only time he's actually like really investigated by these guys is like after he's already said, hey, like I'm not doing that, and they kind of give up. So then what is the next scene, Leland? Help me out here. I'm at my alma mater, and I'm trying to get the fucking Wi-Fi to go. So I'm using this on my phone, so I'm gonna need
No, you good.
Leland's help. I'm just
After they leave him, it's Sean Suter. They're questioning Sean Suter.
right. They're questioning Sean Suter. I'm just explaining why I don't have it in front of me. Yeah. So they're Jensen Saraki are questioning Sean Suter, and
Mm-hmm.
Sean's nervous as fuck. He doesn't know why
Bro,
he's there. He knows that they're all guilty, and like they're questioning about the Umar Burley case, and they even mention Jenkins without mentioning him because they say one of the witnesses believes you planted the drugs. We don't necessarily believe this witness, and he's wondering like what do I why am I here? And at first they kind of do
Which
the
is
whole like
important.
yeah, they at first they do the whole like good cop bad cop thing because they're like,
mm-hmm.
well, look, we don't really believe you're a suspect. I'm
Well,
just
they didn't
following.
though.
No, they
That was
didn't.
all true. They're just like we just want you as. So when they called them, actually there's a documentary on Sean Suter, which I kind of have a complaint about how they
Yeah,
handled it on this storyline here. I think the storyline should have done a little more research because Sonia Sohn did a documentary on Sean Suter. The Slow Hustle is it called, Leland?
I think so.
I
Yeah.
told Leland to watch it on Max, and it I after watching that documentary, I'm convinced Sean Suter was actually murdered. The
Really?
story, yeah, you didn't get that.
Nah,
The
I
state
ain't
even
taking
gave
from that.
the state even gave the family 900,000.
Yeah, I saw that. But I mean, they've also given the same state, Baltimore, has also given people who were drug dealers who got wrongfully convicted money too. Like, so I mean, I ain't
But
really.
there was theories that didn't. There was theories that didn't work out. Like they said that Suter picked a rookie cop to go out with. That wasn't true. The rookie cop was working on a new case and asked Suter to go out with him when Suter was wrapping out the day. So Suter might have not even been on the street that day.
Hmm,
I
that's
don't,
interesting.
there's some
They're
interesting
saying
stuff in
that
that
this isn't
documentary.
true.
So
I haven't seen it, so I don't
And I
have
didn't
a
finish it. I started when I was doing the recap when I was watching
oh
this
yeah,
episode last week. I was like, hold on, because I kind of want to speak on this. Let me just watch some. I started watching it, Jack. I
oh
started
yeah.
watching the documentary.
Finish it.
Um,
It's a good watch.
yeah, no, I'm gonna finish it.
So I guess one of my problems with this is so for storyline purposes, this is important because Suter's a little worried now that
He's a lot of worried.
he's a lot of worried that this is gonna be his job. He's gonna be in jail with the rest of these guys.
Bro, he asked
Right.
them, "Am I gonna lose my job over this?" He got 5 kids. Like
Hmm.
Yeah,
he's thinking about his children for sure.
yeah. So so
Yeah.
Suter's going. Go ahead, Jack.
No, I was just saying, I'm just looking at this thing on my phone. Yeah, he's worried that, and it's not even just like he he's worried about going to jail. I think also it's just his reputation. Like once you get associated with, it's kind of the fucked up thing about the courts of public opinion, because it's like even when you get associated, it doesn't matter if you're guilty or not. People just start looking at you a different way,
Yep.
and he didn't want to be like thought of as being a dirty cop.
It's
Even
a lose-lose situation, really, for him.
yeah, if he has
Um,
to testify,
I gotta
but
testify against cops. So
mhm,
even though you're a cop, I guess you can still be a rat as a cop. They can call you a rat as a cop.
right.
You know, cops don't tell on cops kind of thing. They're a gang in themselves, obviously, with gun
Yeah.
trace task force. But just in general, the police tend to bond together. You know,
Unless you want to go out like Frank Serpico or something, but
yeah.
rarely does that happen.
He was in a lose-lose situation. Like
Right.
even if he wasn't dirty, and I mean, I still and Jesse, we'll talk either here on camera or off camera about the documentary. But even if he wasn't dirty and he went into court to testify, oh, I mean, well, your staff and your and the people who your peers are, they still will look at you dirty too.
Right. And even when they try to bring, like, that's the thing too of like, if even if a good cop tries to bring down a bad cop, a lot of times it's like the higher up won't even care. They'll just, and that's the case with Wayne Jenkins. It's like if he's bringing in the guns, if he's doing the like, that's all they
Oh,
care about. The
that
everything
was
else
something
is
else
sort of
on the
just irrelevant.
documentary too. I
What?
don't know if
Speak
it's
on it, Jesse.
on this. I don't know if it's on this episode. Mongo, who was like the most trustworthy testifier, if that makes sense. Like he
You talking
was
about
giving
Gondo?
him everything.
Gondo.
Gondo,
Yeah.
Gondo, who was the most kind of said, yes, Suda was stealing money all the time with us.
Hmm.
Yep.
So so it seemed like Suda did have more to hide than Mr.
No,
I.
for sure.
Yeah.
Right.
And I mean, in the show, I mean, I've touched on other episodes, so I don't feel like I have to save it. But in the episode, this episode, they say Ram is who was going to testify that Suter was stealing money. In actuality, it was Gondo in real life. That's
Oh,
who.
Yeah.
okay.
That's
Well,
who the testimony was.
not he was. He did. Gondo
He
said,
did.
yeah,
Yeah, he did.
Suda was taking money with us all the
Also,
time.
too, I just found this. I think I sent it to y'all. He's released. Gondo is released.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, that video I sent y'all. I think one of y'all liked it. I think, but that's
Mm.
an interview with him
Oh
after being
yeah, I
released.
saw that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's him with DJ Vlad.
I
He's
wonder
I ain't watch it,
what does he do
but
now?
yeah, I ain't like I said about Ward. I ain't checked his LinkedIn yet. You know, I
Right.
don't know. I don't know what he's doing since he's been out, but
I mean, I saw you that K Stop is like the sheriff of some town
yeah,
in Jersey. You know, good for
yeah.
him. He's yeah. I mean, a lot of those guys are still in jail, except Herschel, who died in jail. Herschel has no lines this episode. Also,
Nope,
as
only
they
only the face.
they kind of were like, well, we already know what happens to him, and that's the thing too. Is like a lot of the characters that start off, they kind of just fade out by the end. Like those two county police, we see what happens to them. They help bring in Shropshire. That scene is interesting too, and I'll just like go, like if you don't mind, just like start talking about scenes that stuck out and everything. We'll go in
Yeah,
order
no, you
too, but
fine.
I
Do
just
your things. I'm
yeah
about to put the episode on, Jack, so I can keep you caught up.
yeah yeah.
I got
So like I like the scene when they actually catch Shropshire together. It's like the one time in the show you actually see cops like doing their jobs and then arresting a criminal, and you know that one guy David Corn Sweat has like his girlfriend's number already memorized because
you. Yeah, I
listening
love
to
that.
him
I love that
forever, and
scene.
it's like they've been up on him for a year. It's like I gotta say, like that must feel amazing. That like all
Yeah,
that
no, that's
hours
a good
and
ass scene, bro. I love it.
yeah,
He's like, oh no, I got it. He was like,
yeah.
I know the number.
He's even like, it's a
Don't even
pleasure to
sweat it.
meet you. Yeah. It's
Don't
an
even
honor to
sweat it, man.
meet
We've
you.
been up on you for almost 2 years, my boy.
Oh
I
yeah.
know your girl's number. Trust me, I got you.
I can't imagine how like satisfying that feels too. Like just doing something you're putting all your effort into for
Yep.
years and then actually seeing it pay off, you know? And so they get that, and that was the first overdose, right? That overdose that they investigated in the first episode
Yep.
with Poot
Mm-hmm.
was because they got the heroin from Shropshire, and they found out, well, Shropshire was getting it from the cops, that he was
Yep.
getting it from Wayne Jenkins. And
Well, he was getting it from he was. I don't think him and Wayne Jenkins were connected,
oh,
but
okay. I
he
thought
was
that was the
there.
implication.
The cop at the end, Gladstone,
Hmm.
when he got in the back of the police car, he was like, why don't y'all just take the drugs and go get something nice for your wife? He's
Right.
like, shit, Gladstone took it last week.
Yeah.
But him and Wayne Jenkins, maybe in real life, maybe they were connected, but in the show, they don't show them. They don't show them connected. He was. He
Right.
was. He wasn't. I think. And they don't talk about really Gondo taking drugs too much, but
Hmm.
Gondo was Shropshire's police connection. Like I don't
Okay.
know. I don't know if it was. They didn't really touch on him giving drugs to Shropshire though.
Right, because they talk about that guy, Officer Cluel, seeing Gonto and Shropshire, like
Yep.
they're acting like friends and everything. And yeah, they mentioned Sergeant Gladstone was um, selling all that drugs, and then that look that those two cops give each other when Brill tells them about Gladstone, they're just like, "Fuck this,
Come
like,
on,
I'm done."
man.
Like, how many cops are dirty by that point? You know. Gladstone was the guy that they realized was the one who planted the gun during when Jenkins runs over that guy's leg. Right? They
Yep.
found that not only did he run over that leg, but
Planted a gun on him.
they planted a gun that
Come on,
they
bro.
called Sergeant Gladstone in, who comes in, and even Ryan Gwynn hears him saying like it's over there. That was
Mm.
what was always like surprising to me, was how unsubtle they were about that whole thing, because it's not he's saying it right out in the open. When he plants the gun, it's like people can see that too. It's
Right, and I
happening
mean,
right in front of everyone.
I guess I need to rewatch the scene, bro. I'm
Mm.
trying to remember when he walked up. Right, does he go under the yellow tape of the crime scene? I
I
can't
think
remember
so.
the scene
Yeah.
off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Okay, so for one, he's a cop, so it's probably like okay, he's probably authorized to be on this crime scene. Maybe
Even
I
though
guess
he's not even a part, he wasn't like assigned to that. He was
right,
off
he
duty at the
wasn't,
time.
but
So
I
everyone
guess
says it's
like
like, why is this guy here? They
to
just
bypass the yellow tape. A civilian
right,
couldn't just walk through the yellow tape, but
right,
he's a cop. Maybe that's why nobody was behind him when he. Because you're right, I was thinking that same shit too when I watch. Every time I watch this scene,
right.
like, nobody,
You
nobody
know what
see.
it is? Also, it's just like if you act like you're doing nothing wrong, it makes people less suspicious. Like if you
Yep,
do something out in the open, people aren't going to question it. They just assume, oh, he's not, you know. But if you
yep,
try to be all secret, then it looks more suspicious. So maybe that's it. But
maybe.
he did do it very out in the open, and Ryan Gwynn saw that. Um,
And he heard him. He heard him.
right.
Like he said, it's right over there. Like,
And they questioned Sean Suter because Jenkins mentioned that it wasn't him that planted the drugs, right? So they
yep.
figured it was either Suter,
Or
Ryan
Gwen,
Gwynn,
and
or
they
they
know
all know.
Gwen is clean.
Right. And then they started talking to Ram and Gondo and Ward, and they're all like, Gondo still trying, Jenkins is still trying to get us to like patch together, and he doesn't. They know that he doesn't understand the gravity of the situation,
No.
and that he's like of a totally different element, and how
Yep.
he was a legitimate drug dealer. He would try to ask people where they wanted, like, I think it was Ward who said like I overheard him on the phone, and he asked me like
Can I
do
any family members or
you have any
anything like
family
that?
members? It's
Come
like,
on, bro.
why would you think that?
Come
And
on,
then
bro.
they say like when they
You want me to ask my auntie? Hey,
right.
you know anybody that can move this heroin that I just confiscated? Auntie, like what? Come on, bro.
Get his 70 year
That's
old
crazy work.
grandmother. Yeah, and when they hear him on the phone, they just say it's like another drug dealer. There's no difference between the two of them.
Yep.
Um, he was
And
like a
then
total
the scene that we're on is I know what's his name in the show. Is it Davis? What's
Commissioner Davis. Oh
Landsman's?
yeah,
Yeah, Commissioner
Commissioner
Davis.
Davis is talking to Deputy Paul Muir,
Yep.
and they're putting
He's
out
talking them up.
right. He's saying like, look, we want to put out this consent decree, right? And they're not going to take it well. Cops never take criticism well. That's just, they get very defensive. And he
Yeah,
wants
they
to be,
want to keep Wayne Jenkins and them on the street so they can keep working.
yeah,
So my
classic
notes on that
dramatic
scene,
irony there.
right?
Yeah.
My notes on that scene where they were so dirty, but because nobody in Baltimore was willing to police, they got put up on a pedestal because they were out confiscating guns when nobody wanted to work. Essentially, after the
Right.
Freddie Gray stuff,
But
they
I
were
don't think Davis knew about them committing their
no,
crimes. Yeah,
no, no. He didn't.
everyone else did. He was just like he
He
just
didn't.
thinks they're good police, right? But yeah, it's like they're the only ones that are willing to do anything.
Yep.
So, and they don't. And then we saw that the episode with the Freddie Gray riots, right? He was the
Yep.
one that he wasn't even assigned to it. He just wanted to
He just
go
went
in.
in, and he got honored for that. Like I said, that's a true story. He definitely went
Uh,
on the front line and tried to control and fight back against people that were rioting. He got honored
mm,
for it. That part is definitely true, like for
he bought
sure.
them all food and
And
everything.
yep, and definitely the same night went and got the looters who were robbing the Rite Aid and took their drugs. That part is also very,
Oh yeah.
very, very true. Okay,
Mhm.
He was looting the looters. Oh my god.
come on, bro. Bro,
Yeah,
what are you doing, bro? That man he was a fucking menace, bro.
That's what the documentary said that in looting the looters. It was
Man,
like
he was a
yeah.
fucking
Oh
menace, bro.
yeah,
And like
this.
the delusion that we was talking about
the
earlier, Jack.
Dexter of looters.
Yeah,
What's that?
when Buddy is running and
Mhm.
they're chasing him after the commissioner talks them up how good they're doing, and they show the scene where they're chasing the dude, and Buddy tosses the gun, and
Yeah.
then well, man, can I call somebody and get this bail going? And then he says, hey man, they found a gun in the alley and put it on me.
Hmm.
And Wayne Jenkins is like, man, why would you do that? We're not cruddy police.
Yeah.
We do stuff by the book, bro. No, the fuck you don't.
Well, you
Like,
just yeah.
what are you talking about? You are definitely a cruddy police, bro.
You
Like,
gotta play the game.
That's what makes him an interesting character, though. Is that that's what I thought about this episode? Is like he legitimately doesn't think of himself as being a bad guy at all. He doesn't think
Nah.
what he's
Jack,
doing is wrong.
it's at least 3 times where he's like, I'm not a dirty cop,
Yeah. He
bro.
says that, and like Graham and Gondo look at each other and start
They're
cracking up.
like,
He's like, "What are
bro,
you talking about?
yes, you
We're
are, bro. What are you
stealing.
talking about?
We're stealing from people." But that's yeah. He is like he's an interesting. He's very insecure, and that's why I said about making him into a relatable character. I think the writing did a great job because it's like he wants people to accept him and for people to appreciate what he does, which is
Yep.
kind of true of everyone. We all
Yeah.
want to be
I don't
appreciated. We
know.
all want to be recognized for the things we do, and that's kind of like the core of his character. Would you
Yeah,
say?
I don't know if he's that relatable. He like so. Pardon.
In real
A
life
bit
or in the show, Jesse?
by episode 6, like
Well, I'm
a
not talking
big
about the
problem.
crimes. I'm just talking about his baseline, like his
No, no,
motivations for doing things.
I know. I'm just saying. In episode 6, one of my problems was like I had nobody to root for. I'm just like, just lock them up already. Like, let's get to the
Yeah,
ending. Like,
It's
it's
no
kind of like,
antagonist. I mean, no
yeah.
protagonist in the show.
Well, also
yeah.
the main character. Go ahead, Jesse.
No, like, so episode 4, like, he makes me laugh, and it's like, yeah, he's doing like horrible shit, but
It's
the
funny.
acting is so great that I'm kind of engrossed in it. Like, I'm like, all right, I want to know more about you. I want to know what
Mhm.
led you down here. But episode 6, I'm just so over it. I'm like, just put this guy away. I'm tired of his bullshit already. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I totally get that. Well, the thing about it too is the main thing I had an issue with was the main character's arc, Nicole Steele, which we'll get to. That was
Mhm.
my issue with the episode because it. But I do like one thing I liked about the episode because I have mixed feelings about it. I do like that they. It was mainly just about like his character and how he relates to the world and like sort of the
Yeah.
aftermath about it and how kind of nothing's really changed since this case went down. Um,
Not at all.
that and that's kind of David Simon's overarching philosophy. He's like David Simon is a very pessimistic view of the systems that control us, but he has a very optimistic view of people and
Hmm.
how we can change on a personal level and improve as a society because of human nature and how we become better and learn from our mistakes. However, these systems are so deeply entrenched in corruption that there's that contrast between.
Forever broken kind of thing.
Right, exactly. And like we want to do better, but these systems make it fucking nearly impossible for anything meaningful to happen. And so that's what I always thought about The Wire was that it's like it's 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 like I don't know how to describe it. It's the yin and the yang, right? Because it is
Mhm.
very it's positive and it's optimistic but realistic at the same time.
Yep,
And this show is definitely more just pessimistic
for sure.
overall. That
Not
like
a lot of positivity to pull from this
no,
goddamn show.
no, definitely not. Um and so like let's talk the scene the main scene with Nicole Steele, right? And
Mhm.
she's talking to that guy, Officer Drebnick or something like that. He's a made up guy, he's not a real person. The one played by Treat Williams from The Prince of the
Mhm.
City. And I was talking how he basically represented David Simon and Ed Burns and like their philosophy. And she's talking to him and she's like, well, everything's good here. Like it sounds very it's written very well, but like what are you not saying? And she's like, well, she doesn't know what he's talking about. He's like, look, it's the drug war and that's
Oh yeah, yeah,
probably.
yeah. That's way further down. But
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
that's probably my favorite scene in the whole show. No
yeah,
bullshit.
absolutely. And so it's I definitely want to hear both your takes on it because it's like.
Yeah, no, yeah, no. I definitely will. Definitely, I'll keep you. I'll let you know when we get
Oh,
there.
okay.
I
So
definitely want to touch on that scene
yeah,
specifically. That's probably my favorite scene in this entire show. I am not lying,
right, yeah, and I could see that because it is like a philosophical debate they have.
bro. The
um
words that he was speaking in that scene, bro, are
yeah.
man. That well, yeah, we'll talk
So,
about that, bro.
go
Yeah,
go ahead, Leland. I think we could talk about it now.
okay.
While we're
Yeah,
Because I
so.
took I took down the actual dialogue, the whole scene.
Mhm.
Hold on, let me find it. Let me find it. Let me find it. Let me find it. He said, in a war, you need. He said, in a war, you have enemies. In a war, you have civilians that get hurt and nobody does anything. You count the
Mhm.
bodies and then call them victories. Is the Justice Department or even the civil rights ready to declare that we long ago lost this war?
Right.
And we received nothing but full prisons and brutality and complete collapse between police departments and their cities. I fought this war, Nicole. I was even good at it when I did it, but it was
And
lost when I got there and did nothing but losing my guys out here right now on the street. They are all lost. Is He said, "Are you people? Is what you people are writing? Are you ready to say that out loud to anybody?"
and
It was
that's she works for the Office of
man.
Civil
It was
Rights.
man.
that's
That
deep.
scene is
That's
because
deep.
he's
Yeah.
right. He's right. It's like, what is the war on drugs? Like, what if you take away the war on drugs? What would police be chasing? How much? How many other crimes could the police departments take on? And I mean, think of
Mhm.
Amsterdam essentially. Like, this is Amsterdam in a statement essentially. How much more police work could you get done if you all weren't chasing drugs? Like, which
Right.
it doesn't matter how many people you lock up. You think tomorrow somebody's not gonna sell or do drugs? Like, it's
I had an economics teacher in high school that was like, "I think all drugs should be legal."
wow.
I mean,
That's
there are
good.
people that a lot of people that think that. I don't know. Well, yeah, I mean, the thing about the war on drugs I always saw was always reminded me of like the war on terror, which George W. Bush said when we were growing up, and we learned this all bullshit. You can't have a war on a concept
Yep.
because the war never ends. It's not. The war on drugs also it came from the Reagan administration. That's when they started like really getting into the neighborhoods and arresting.
Didn't Reagan start? What's the campaign? DARE. Didn't he start
There,
doing it?
yeah, yeah.
Right.
And it's like it doesn't teach people a realistic view of drugs. And there's never been proof that the war on drugs led to reduction in drug addictions. All it did was it said like it was putting out a statement of like we will fucking arrest all these people, but it didn't really accomplish much. And people have tried to reduce it. Right when Obama was in office, which they explained, they tried to reduce the amount of marijuana convictions. And marijuana itself
Well,
has become.
marijuana is pretty much legal now. But
Yeah, exactly.
if you go ahead and make something like heroin legal, that might be a little
Yeah, no,
irresponsible.
I don't
Yeah.
believe in that.
But what
My
I
view is
mean, I
more in
guess
the
what would be the difference? What would change?
what.
if you made heroin legal.
You don't. You're not arresting people that are doing drug purchases and buying
Yeah,
and
I
selling
mean, I
drugs.
think drug
But
purchases is different than
would
people
I mean?
selling it.
But if it was legal, if it was legal, so they wouldn't, so the cops wouldn't be arresting people for drug usage and stuff like that. So they could
Mhm.
arrest people for what? Murders, rapes, like
Right.
stuff that are people gonna not get high because the drugs are illegal? They're not.
Hmm.
I think I do think that if drugs are legal, it's almost like some people may think it's. I mean, look at alcohol abuse.
My thing is
You know,
okay. That's valid.
because alcohol is legal. We like a lot of people are like, oh, it's okay to go and get hammered and look at how many DWIs. I mean, which is kind of
Yeah,
weird.
but
Well, because prohibition didn't work, but I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying, like, if you
But
make it
also
legal,
too
there
though,
is
Jesse.
a percentage of people that will try it just because it's
But
legal. I feel.
also as an adult, you have the decision to make to not shoot heroin if it's legal or
mhm.
not. You
No,
know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah. I'm just saying.
Like,
So if you're like 16, 17, and your friends like, hey, you could do heroin when you're 18. You might be more tempted to try it than if it was banned by the government. Like,
maybe or maybe
Yeah,
not.
I mean, it could never become a
I guess
taxable
I don't know.
item. That's the
That's a
thing.
valid debate. If it was legal, would we have more? I guess more usage. But does it being illegal? Does that mean we don't have a high usage of it? That's not the case,
Right.
right?
But
Like,
I also think there's a difference between like legalizing something and and ending the war on drugs, making it be like this is not a priority for you to go after these guys. I mean, it mainly started because of like crack in the 80s. That was like a big response to it. But
yeah,
yeah, the idea of like heroin's just going to be sold regardless, and a lot of drugs are also just sold regardless. Painkillers are sold
for
by
sure,
doctors, and it's like
for
that
sure.
shit
That's
like
that was my point a few episodes ago when we were talking. Like, you can get
yeah.
pain. You can say, "Hey, doctor," and
right.
they can't test you. Hey, doctor, my head is fucked up.
Hmm.
There's
Let
a
me just.
really good show that Bob Spohr worked on Hulu called Dope Sick.
That was a great
It's
show.
it
Y'all both
was
watched it?
Yeah, it was good. It was great.
sorry.
Michael Keaton starred in it, and it played a doctor who got lied
He
to
pretty
about
much got taken advantage of.
yeah
He
the
got hooked on
OxyContin.
oxycodone. Yeah,
Damn.
it was the oxycodone was we were meant to believe that oxycodone wasn't as addictive as it was, and all these pharmaceutical reps were actually like told to push it and
Hmm.
not and just basically lie
Right.
Not
on how
explain its
addictive it
addictiveness.
was and how and it ruined some people's lives, man. Yeah.
No, that's interesting. I guess my thoughts though are like, isn't in Oregon, and y'all can check me if I'm wrong. This is it Oregon where drugs are like legal? Is that Oregon or like
In
decriminalized?
Oregon,
Isn't aren't hard drugs decriminalized in Oregon or something like that?
I don't.
I'm not sure. I remember there was like in Portland, I think they tried to decriminalize most drugs there. Um, I haven't done enough research to know like if
Well, I
in a
know
country
here.
like
Who was the?
Holland, like if
Who,
Holland is has less addictions than the United States, I'd have to like research that.
Ballot. It's called Ballot Measure 110. So in
Mhm.
2021, Oregon became the first U.S. state to decriminalize. I guess it's the amount.
Right.
Decriminalize small amount possession of all illicit drugs via Ballot Measure 110, shifting focus to treatment rather than criminalization.
And that
well,
really does. I think that is positive because it's like if people are trying to get help, a lot of people will feel hesitant because they don't want to get in trouble, but they have a drug addiction that they want to end at the
But
same time.
but goddamn Jesse, due to rising overdose deaths and public use, the state partially reversed this in September
Yeah.
2024, making a small amount possession a misdemeanor again, though with options for treatment-based diversion. So
yeah.
there's the experiment sample size right there, Jesse. I guess you're spot on, bro. If it was legal
Mhm.
everywhere, you would see the increase in overdoses. That's damn. When you were saying it just now too, that is a valid point. Thinking about 16 and 17 year olds, like damn,
Hmm.
it's legal as hell. Oh, all right, shit, why not? It's legal, kind of thing. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, because that's where my mind would have went. He would have been like, "Oh, it's legal. Oh yeah, stick a needle on my arm."
Right. I mean, you know, I think my opinions fall somewhere in the middle where I don't think all drugs should be legal, but I also don't think we should have the war on drugs where police officers view themselves as like combative against the civilians, because that was one thing that was also what struck out to me is like in a war there are enemies, but the enemies
Mhm.
are just the people of the city, and the police view themselves they view the people as their enemy here. It's like, how are we supposed to maintain law and order,
Yeah.
to protect and serve, right? But that shows they protect and serve the rich and powerful from the people of the city. And so I don't know, man. I The main character Nicole Steele, her whole arc, kind of like it's really weird how it falls out, because it's like she starts off like all ambitious about everything, about what's happening, and like I want to make a change, and then by the end she just gives up. She's like, oh, the fuck this. This is
Well,
too much work.
part of that reason too is because Nicole Steele's a fictional character too.
No, I know. I'm
So
just saying the
everybody
way the
else they have
character
like,
was written was just like, I don't know.
yeah,
I thought like, you know, it just seemed like indifference is not the answer either, I guess I'm trying to say. And I
right,
get why people feel so hopeless, right? Because if, especially in a city like Baltimore, it's just like you experience nothing but corruption. And it's like if the people you vote for turn out to be criminals, which they turned out here with that mayor Catherine Pugh, it's like, well, what's the fucking point in trying? Um,
yeah.
I don't
I
know, man.
actually
It's a
think
mixed
she,
bag.
I think she did okay criminal wise for the city, but she was tax invade, right? Something with
Right.
taxes and
Tax
stuff.
evasion and fraud, white
I
collar
think,
crime.
I think criminal wise, she was actually doing okay.
Who you
I
talking
don't
about?
know
Oh,
The mayor, Catherine
the
Pugh.
mayor.
oh, you
Right.
trying to figure out what she was charged with? What?
Well,
No,
no,
she was
she
charged
wants
with tax, right? Invasion or
tax
something like
evasion.
that.
Yeah.
I believe that she, criminal wise, she was actually
Right.
doing pretty good for the streets, right?
Hmm.
Tax
Or am I?
evasion and fraud.
No, but I'm saying like she was actually a good mayor as far as like street crimes and stuff like that, right?
In what way? What you mean?
Like street crimes were down and stuff, or no? Like she was like coming down heavy on like
But I
street crime
mean,
like that.
at
According to
at
the
340 murders a
Yeah,
year, I mean, it's
according to
like
the end of the show, the crime has increased since
Oh,
you
okay.
know.
there's a scene, there's a
I forgot that part. Okay.
there's a clip on Twitter, and it's like, how has life changed since the Freddie Gray stuff for Baltimore residents? And it's this cop punching the shit out of somebody, like you see it on camera.
Jesus.
It's like, oh, it's like life has gotten better for Baltimore residents since the Freddie Gray stuff, I'm sure. And then it's like the tag is like, well, this is life, kind of something like that.
Yeah.
And it's a cop punching the shit out of somebody, like
Jesus, man.
it's right on camera. It's crazy. It
Yeah.
looks crazy, like it looks crazy, bro. Like,
But I do, yeah. I love that monologue by that guy, because you could tell he's just like, look, I've been in and out of being a cop. I've been retired for 30 years.
mm-hmm.
And like, I'm just telling you that what we're doing is not real police work. And she's saying that like all you bureaucrats, like you're ambitious, but you're willing to dance around the issue, right? Of like what we need to do. And I mean, I don't know. In a way, like I was saying to Jesse, I get where she's coming from, but it's like the fact that she at the end she just kind of like gives up and everything. It just feels like, I don't
Well,
know,
it's
kind of a
because
cop out.
of
No pun intended. But
it's
like,
it's because of the administration winning, who
right.
when the Trump administration won, and then it's like, okay, well, I know for a fact that they're possibly gonna, I don't know if outcast is the right word, but possibly I think they might outcast the department she worked in. So it's
Or
like if this
defund them.
administration takes over, it's almost
Right.
like, what's the point of us doing shit? Like it's not even, it's pointless if this
Yeah.
administration wins. That was her thought for 4 years or 8 years, however long he's gonna be in office.
They mentioned Jeff Sessions being attorney general, and I'm like, wow, that feels so quaint compared to like Pam, the Dow is over 5,000 Bondi, um, and like it feels like it's like been 100 years since that shit happened. You know what I mean? Like they
Yeah.
mentioned, it, I was like, oh wow, I forgot about that guy. That's right.
But
Um,
where are we at in the scene? It is. I'm trying to remember. It
we'll go back
is.
to well, sorry, I was saying we were talking before about like them talking about how Wayne was trying to get them to sell drugs. What's the scene after that?
So it's this. I think the scene before that is when they chase Buddy down, and
Right, and they
they
plant the gun on
talk about
him.
the credit cop stuff, and also too, I
He's
never
actually
caught.
messing around with him too, which was funny. He's
Right,
like
that's
playing.
how
He's
I'm
like, "I
about. I'm
like
about
you,"
to
you
touch on
know.
that. When he's sitting down and like when the cop car pulls up, I never heard this until I was watching it, and one of the cops says, "Hey man, get your fat ass up." I never heard that. I never heard that part until I was watching the other day. I never heard that little bit of comedy right
Mhm.
there. But let's see what's next after
And I
that.
do like that. Like, you know what? One thing about his performance is that he's always speaking very loudly. Like, he wants everyone to hear what he's saying, and he does that with the character too. He's like, I like you, man. Like, he's just very like
Right.
affable. He puts on that affable thing to where it's like if you were to pull you over, you'd be like, all right, this guy seems okay.
Yeah.
He
And
does. He's
also
not like
too,
personal.
that before that scene that you were just talking about, when he's talking to the lawyer about and the lawyer's telling him, like, hey bro, people are cooperating. He's like, not my guys. And
Yeah.
the lawyer's like, bro, everybody, you know.
Well,
And
because he
he's
still
like,
thinks they're like a family. It's kind
exactly.
of
And
sad,
then
you know.
he says, I'm not a dirty cop.
Right.
Bro, yes, you are, bro. You are a dirty fucking cop,
And
bro.
then
Like,
like yeah, that's the thing. That's why like I'm kind of jumping around from memory because it's like he wants to convince himself that he's not a dirty cop, just like he wants to convince everybody else. And it's about his ego and about how
yep,
he views himself. And that's why I was saying like that's what makes him relatable is that he wants to prove himself.
yeah,
They go back to this they have this flashback scene and they keep intercutting him with him in prison and he looks like all worn down and
he looked
has the
beat.
fear.
It's the first time we seen
Yeah,
him look like that. He looked
it's
defeated.
true. He looks defeated at that point. That is like the first, scene that like, wow, he's really like realizes he's
Yep.
losing this. And he has this flashback to when he's in a courthouse and this prosecutor is like, oh no, the defense attorney is beating Jenkins in a case because he's saying that Jenkins admitted like he pulled some guy over. They didn't have cause to check his vehicle, but they wanted to talk to him anyway. And they said, and he's very confident. He's like, which we did voluntarily, and then he mentions that they surrounded the car, and he
Yep.
said, like, again, he's like, which we always want to have tactical advantage. This is how we do things by the book. He's trying to put on a
Mm-hmm.
show for the courts and make himself seem like I'm a cop that knows what he's doing. But it shows he doesn't even realize what's right and what's wrong by the police conduct because as soon as he
So
says that, the judge was like, well, that amounts to an unlawful arrest or whatever. And that's how he.
so in real life, that's a real scene too. That scene.
Mm.
So like in real life, and I've only seen the Wayne Jenkins documentary once. I only watched it once. In real life, how did it go? It's like he was in court giving the testimony, but he kind of flipped the story because if he had told the whole truth, it would have what's the right words? I don't know if it would have perjured him or it would have showed him doing something criminally. Like in real life,
Okay.
like he lied on the stand completely, like
To
to not
protect
give them
himself.
the it's we'll have to watch that documentary as a group because it's dope. It's
Per
crazy.
Mhm.
per perjured
I'm trying to
perjured.
remember if it was just perjury or if it was I should have watched the documentary before I did
Right.
this
Well, you have a
episode,
right
but
to like not self-incriminate. I think.
it's
Yeah.
something like that. Like it's
Mhm.
the actual
It's pleading the
defense
fourth.
attorney.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Plead the
actual defense
fifth.
The
attorney
fifth. Pleading the fifth. I'm saying
Plead
pleading
the
the fourth.
fifth.
plead the fifth, fifth,
The Chappelle.
fifth,
Pleading the
fifth.
filth.
It's the
The
fifth.
defense attorney Bates in real life is kind of who's narrating the Wayne Jenkins documentary. Like he has a bunch of screen time on that documentary, like giving his
That
take on it. It's dope. It's a hell of a documentary, bro. Like
not
Right.
to change not to change cases real quick, but you know the when people watch the People versus O.J. Simpson, and this is what I was when I was saying, Leland. If you just like look at the facts only, like when I rewatch the People versus O.J. Simpson, and I'm kind of like, bro, I could 100% see me being on the jury voting not guilty,
Mm-hmm.
because Mark Furman, the head detective case was and they got him on the fifth, but if people haven't watched that show, that's such a good show too. That's a real good limited
That
I've
series.
is a
heard.
great one.
So
I
God,
watched that one night instead of doing an essay. I remember I like took Adderall or something, and then I was like, I'm gonna watch one episode before I do this paper. I spent the whole night watching all 8 episodes.
yeah, it
That was
was
a
really.
great
I watched it
show.
week by week, but so
One of
Mark
the few
Furman
things
was kind of.
Ryan Murphy did that's really great. But
Oh
sorry, go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah. No, he's good. Yeah, he tends to go off on other things, like his
He makes
Aaron
some,
Hernandez was in
yeah, he
one
makes some dumb
essay.
shit too.
Yeah, yeah.
But he made some great
Um,
stuff too, like the OJ show.
yeah, that one was really good. So the head detective Furman kind of was like, they found the tapes, and he was kind of like, and I don't know if he was telling the screenwriter that he was consulting for a film or something, but
Hmm.
he said, if an N word's not if an N word is not guilty, you have to make sure that you find them guilty, or there's evidence
Yeah.
there. Yeah, and this is the lead detective. So when they call him back on, I don't think the jury heard everything, but when they call him back on the stand and they say, "Have you ever used the N word?" and he said, "I plead the fifth," and they're like, "Do you plan on pleading the fifth?" And he's like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Have you planted evidence in this case?" He said, "I plead the fifth."
Yeah.
If I'm on jury, I'm like, yo, this dude said OJ, yo,
Yeah.
I so it's
It's
funny
all
because
about raising reasonable doubt in the jury's mind.
Right.
yeah,
If you can
yeah.
do
So
that,
people think it's the glove, but when you said the fifth, I was just thinking of that, and that guy, Mark Furman, if I'm not mistaken, I think he's a consultant for like Fox News now and stuff, but
damn.
some of those tapes were
Makes sense.
discussing like, N word this, N word that. If an N word, if an N word said he's not guilty, he's lying. Like
Yeah.
it was like just like
I might
yeah,
have to
yeah,
watch that again. I
so
haven't
No,
watched
weird.
it's
it
a
in
great
years.
show, and it is an amazing defense how they got him off, considering that OJ murdered those two people in cold blood. So
Allegedly.
other than that,
I mean,
Allegedly,
uh,
have y'all seen the 30 for 30 on OJ on that case? I don't know
uh,
if y'all are big
yeah,
sports.
yeah,
I know
yeah,
y'all are big
yeah. That
sports
was
oh
fans.
good.
yeah, I
That
did
was
see
good.
Fuck
that.
y'all.
It was called OJ Made in America.
They
Yeah,
said
that was
he pumped
great.
his hand up to make the glove not fit, like or
Right.
some
Yeah.
shit. Like,
The defendant's not supposed to try on the glove. They
Well,
found his DNA.
that was that was so. But
Are you an OJ denier right now? Am I learning this for the first time? Are you an
I'm out.
OJ truther?
No, I know somebody who thinks it's his son. No, no. I was gonna say the OJ glove thing. I think that well, I think there was two people. I heard a detective in this case, and he said how there was two people that killed it. OJ being one of them, and his friend
mhm.
being another. And he. I gotta see if I can find those YouTube episodes. It's pretty interesting stuff. But
Uh,
he said that but OJ, that guy asking OJ to put on the glove was just that was dumb. But
that was
that
terrible.
guy,
Marsha Clark, right? Yeah.
but yeah, but Marsha Clark and the other guy, what was his name? Leland, you know it, right? Or
The
no?
Sterling K. Brown guy
No, no,
from the
I
Yeah,
don't know none of the characters. No.
because he actually, what I didn't like about him is he was a big like person for the truth kind of guy,
hmm
and he ended
Christopher
up defending
Darden.
Nipsey. He ended up defending Nipsey Hussle's killer. That's why I thought Leland knows him because
Oh yeah, you talking about Chris Durden or something like that?
yeah,
Chris Darden,
Chris
yeah.
Darden, yeah,
Chris Darden, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
He couldn't take the heat either. He got off that case. It was too much. It was too
Well,
much.
because that that was so weird for me, like to be on the prosecution side of a high profile case and say that you just want justice and doing all these interviews,
That
and
was
then you
stupid.
take the defense of Nipsey Hussle's killer. I was like,
That was
well,
stupid,
that's
man.
so weird.
And In the midst of me working on this book for the last, I don't know, 5 years, 4, however long it's been since I started this Nipsey Hussle book, writing this damn book. That man took somebody that helped employ and impact 45,000 people in
Mm.
terms of jobs, employment, charity work. This is who this man killed. Now, a lot of people didn't know this before Nipsey Hussle died, because I didn't know this before he died. I just knew the music. I knew he had like this his own store and he had his own building. Like I knew all that before he died. I knew he was a great artist. I didn't know the economics of who he was
Yeah.
and who he impacted. So Eric Holder, who he took away, was somebody that impacted literally thousands of people. He helped people get jobs. He helped people who, couldn't get jobs. He employed them. Like charity work. He rebuilt stuff in California. Like he was everything that Tupac rapped about wanting to be. That's what Nipsey Hussle was in real life. Like
Mhm. I remember
that's
hearing that like about his charity work. 'Cause I didn't know the extent
man.
of.
He would have literally levitated to $100 million based on all of the seeds that he planted. He was
Wow.
on his way to $100 million without even really doing much. That's how much stuff he was involved in California. Him and DJ Khaled put a bid in for a casino hotel or something like that in Vegas before he passed.
Hmm.
Like he was tapped into a bunch of stuff. He was tapped into Bitcoin in 2016 or something. Like
Wow.
he was
Or
on
really good
another
luck.
level with economics and just being up to date on stuff, man. It's one of the reasons I haven't put this book out, because I want it to be absolutely perfect, and I'm probably
Hmm.
hurting myself by taking so long to write it, but I want it to be perfect when I put it out. Like
Great things take time, you know.
he was somebody who impacted so many and helped so many people. Like it was so many people. So
Hmm.
it's a sad
An
story, but at
entire
the same time,
village.
that's who he wanted to be too. He knew he would die early and he wanted his legacy to live forever. So
Yeah.
I don't think he wanted to leave his kids and his wife, obviously, like that, but he always felt like he would die early and his impact would live forever through his legacy. So, rest in peace,
Yeah.
Nipsey Hussle. Every day until the end of time. That's what it's just going to be. R.I.P. Nipsey Hussle forever.
For sure. That's like my dad said. It's not the years in the life, it's the life in the years. And so it's like
It
you
does
have
not
lived
feel
in.
like it's been 7 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
2019, yeah. March 31st will be 7 years since we lost Nipsey Hussle.
yeah, no, he was a great man. I don't know that much about his murder. You know, the thing with the OJ too is like the OJ case. Um, there is just so much. The defense attorney team did a genius job of framing this as a race thing
Oh
when
yeah, yeah, yeah. There
when it
was the
was
dream
about
team. Yeah.
a murder. At the end of the day, it
Mm-hmm.
was like they have so much evidence, physical evidence, showing that
Against him.
OJ Simpson murdered those two people, that their defense team was like, all right, what if we paint this story? This guy Mark Furman is a racist piece of shit. This was right after the Rodney King event, so they're like,
Mm.
what if we get all of these people to just think, oh, they're all just framing this beloved celebrity like an
Was Mark
icon.
Furman, was he a cop?
Yeah, he was the
Yeah,
head. He was the head
He was
cop.
LAPD.
Yeah, he
but
was the head cop.
they made OJ out to be more of like a
Hero.
hero, and especially in the black community. Like there was a part of the
Yeah,
documentary
yeah,
where they show how they
I
changed
saw that.
pictures in his
I remember
house.
that. I do remember that part.
yeah,
And it is a genius job by, but it's also interesting that the Kardashians, the only reason we know them is because their dad defended OJ. Like
yeah.
that's how
Well,
they became famous.
really, and I don't want to spend too much time. We only got about 55 more minutes.
We
I don't want to
sorry,
spend too
OJ
much time on
says
the Kardashians, but
right.
we really only know them because of the sex tape with
That's
Kim
true.
Kardashian and Ray
Yeah.
J.
Well,
Ray J.
yeah, they dated a couple celebrities, but Robert Kardashian was OJ,
He was the
and if you
defense
see,
attorney. Yeah.
it's kind of funny because if you see his face after the verdict is read, you kind of say like, "Oh my God, they let it innocent, they let a guilty man innocent." Because
Yeah.
I think he had his doubts after the case was going on. But yeah, so Robert Kardashian was on the Dream Team, and
Yeah.
then and then he got the reality show. The
You ever?
Kardashians.
I one of
But
my
the
favorite
reality
things.
show came after the tape, if I'm not
Say
mistaken.
right with
Oh,
Ray
it
And
did?
J.
now Kim
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Kardashian is a billionaire, if I'm not mistaken. And I think what's the other, the younger one? Is it Chris or Kendall? She got the makeup line. I think it's Kendall. Chris.
Kylie.
Ken, Kylie's
Kylie,
Kylie
that's who it is. I don't even know their
Kylie's a
names.
she's a billionaire. Yeah,
Kylie Jenner. She's been a
Jesus.
billionaire for years.
yeah.
Okay.
For doing
Like
nothing. It's like they have
it's
literally
makeup.
accomplished nothing. They I
It's
hate
makeup.
we'll talk about them in another episode, but I
Yeah.
fucking
Let's
hate
let's
those
get back
people.
to we on this shit.
Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry.
We
The
just
last
went
thing
we
I'll
just went
say is
way left.
sorry. The last thing I'll say is that there is I watched an interview with Colbert, Cuba Gooding Jr. and after
Mhm.
OJ show, and he said like he was originally going to be in season two. There was going to be a season two, focusing on the Katrina, Hurricane Katrina, but that I guess never came to fruition. But yeah, okay. Murder is
So
now legal in the state of California.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
So we talked about your
yes.
monologue, Jack. That
Oh
scene
yeah,
was coming right. It was coming
yeah.
right up too. You were still
Oh
you were
yeah,
still
yeah.
in order almost
But
like
before we get into that, like the scene with the prosecutor, defense attorney, was basically telling him afterwards, like, listen, nobody's willing to take your cases because they all fall apart because everyone knows you're dirty and you steal, and that's why no one's willing to have you testify on the stand. And
yep.
you could tell that like deeply hurt him and his ego because now it's like he realizes when somebody who's like not your friend tells you like everyone views you as a scumbag, that
Trying to
like
give you some game and help you.
yeah,
And I don't even
that
like you.
right, exactly. And that yeah, that's the thing. If it comes from somebody like that, it affects you more because they're like he has no reason to lie to him at that point.
Yeah.
And you could tell that really fucking hurt him, so much so that later on he tries to one up him by like purposely waiting outside of a court case for God knows how long, just for
And
this
what was
guy
the
to come
point?
out,
What was the point of that?
just to show in his face like, hey, I'm a lieutenant now, I don't even I got promoted, so fuck you. That was the whole point. And it's like he walks away and the guy's like, okay. Like he's probably
It
forgot about
was
this conversation. Like,
the fact that it was openly known, like even outside of the federal investigation into them, the
mhm,
fact that it's so well known that Wayne Jenkins is just taking money and taking drugs from people, like that's just
right.
oh yeah, that's just what he does. It's like what the fuck, bro?
Hmm.
You just openly take kilos of drugs from people, bro? That is insane.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he took more than like, because they said like people always skimmed off the top, but he was doing it so unsubtly that everyone knew about it.
When they
Even
question, go
right.
ahead, Jack.
I was gonna say they didn't know enough. They didn't have like evidence, but they all knew like that was the word on the street. Everyone talks, and so it's like not only do the street people know it, but attorneys and the judges know that too.
Bro, what the fuck, bro? Come on, bro.
You
What
can't
are you
even.
doing, bro? Like, and the fact that when the bail bondsman was locked up and they were questioning him, and he said, "Oh, it was about $1 million pure profit for us."
He was so
Bro,
funny, man. He was kind of like
you
he
and he looks like that in real life too, bro.
he
Like
was
he,
kind of yeah, but his whole like yeah. You guys want this? Oh yeah, I can show you. I can
Yeah,
show you
oh,
who
he
it
said,
I
is.
love
"Oh,
that guy.
he said, oh, and you forgot the drugs in the baseboard,
I like
3
how he
kilos."
says like, "That's not why you came here," just like so
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, I
condescendingly.
knew it, and he fully cooperated with them too in real
Yeah.
life. I don't even think I'm not sure how much time he did, but it was not a lot. He gave them everything on
Yeah,
him.
And
he
it's
was like,
smart
did
too,
you
because
guys
he's
find the
like,
drugs under the board there?
Yeah, he's like, oh, you missed it, 3 kilos.
well,
You know,
yeah, he knows they're not like looking for him. Like they
nope.
don't really
Oh,
care about
oh, you want
him.
my boy? Done. Let's talk
Yeah, I
about
don't
him.
give a
Done.
shit.
I don't give a fuck. I'm not going to
Because it's
jail.
also like if the cop brought him into this, like the bail bondsman guy didn't want to be part of this. Like when
Yeah,
he
no,
had to convince him. He didn't ask for these drugs. Wayne Jenkins just brought him all of
yep.
these drugs, and he could honestly make a case of like, look, this is like entrapment in a way. You're literally cops are bringing me drugs to sell. That's not fair. Then I get arrested for this shit. I would
The
make that argument.
documentary, man, the documentary shows him. He's got some time on the documentary too. They got some good commentary from him. Some of the shit that he's talking about that Wayne Jenkins like was trying to put him in and connect him to is insane. Like
Hmm.
it's robberies, it's full on robberies. Like, hey, I need you to look out. We about to go hit this house. I need you to look out. I need you to come in the house. Like it's a bunch of shit. Like that he was trying to incorporate with him outside of just bringing him drugs. Like
Right.
crazy work.
Yeah, and and he again, like he was smart the way he did it. Just like tell them everything, and you'll get less time. And he used that southern charm of his with that spot on Baltimore accent. If
Yep.
anything, he went out like is he still in jail? I'm assuming not, right? If he was
No, he's
interviewed,
free. I don't even Jack.
yeah,
I don't even know how much time he did, bro. I don't think
he
it was
did
a lot.
very few. Yeah, and that's also the thing is once Wayne reads the newspaper saying that the guy is
He
now
sees him.
cooperating, they realize, oh, that's the fucking nail in the coffin right now, because
I'm
now
glad
they
you
have
said
you
that,
from
Jack.
all
I'm gonna
angles.
ask y'all: does in a newspaper, if somebody is cooperating, would that headline be in the newspaper? Jesse, do you know that?
I don't know. Um,
Would it
Yeah,
say, "Hey, somebody's cooperating" in the newspaper, like in the front of the newspaper? Like
I could see that. I feel
maybe
like I've seen that before. Like I'm not saying for certain, but I feel like I've seen stories like
because
headlines
it would
like
probably
that.
be worded differently. It might say, "Hey, person
Right, he's
telling witness,"
talking.
yeah, or something like that. Okay, maybe it's
But
not
I
so
guess
far.
I guess what happens is the reporters, they ask the officers or whoever's like in charge of the investigating, and they just tell them out like, oh yeah, he's talking to us, he's cooperating.
You
maybe
know
when
what?
Okay, he's
Sammy,
You're right.
cooperating.
'Cause it's a newspaper; they can post whatever they want to.
maybe
I
You're
when
want.
right.
I don't
Sammy
think they
the
would
Bull
say like
talked.
specific about who they're talking about necessarily, like, but they could just say like he is said
He's a
to be
witness. He's
cooperating.
cooperating. Yeah, yeah, that's not so far fetched.
I
Yeah,
could
you're
see, I could see when Sammy the Bull talked. I could see that making headlines. Actually,
right.
Yeah.
Listen, so where are we at, Jack?
Oh
We are
yeah, that's
at
right.
Commissioner
Sammy the
Davis.
Bull. That's a good reference right there.
Right.
Uh,
We're at
commission.
Commissioner Davis talking to the mayor
Yeah,
about
and
this.
yeah, because we went over like the war on drugs and how he
Yep.
feels like it's like a pointless fight. You're putting out like you're bringing like a bucket of water to a forest fire essentially.
Yep.
Um, and we talked about that a bit last
Mhm.
episode also. So yeah, Davis goes and has his plans to the mayor, and they realize, well, it's all about money, and then that's
Yep.
kind of like one of my favorite lines from the guy beforehand. He said like plans become more difficult when you need actual money to solve real problems,
He
right?
said it's a poor city.
Yeah, they have the
He said it's a
pension
poor
fund
city.
that they're needing, all this money for schools and rec centers, and it is true. It's like you need that is more important, and but the money
Well,
for this consent decree has to come from somewhere. It's a debate, I guess, like which because the mayor's office in the city is still kind of giving the police department the cold shoulder because they had to pay out this huge settlement for the
Freddie
Freddie
Gray.
Gray case.
So this is my thing about that scene, y'all. So she says, when they're pretty much telling her like where the money's gonna come from, and she's like, "Those are my babies. It can't come from my babies." Okay, ma'am. Respectfully, shut the fuck
So
up.
fake, yes, like,
Cause you're dirty as hell. Okay, like
so corny. Yeah, yeah.
respectfully, you dirty as hell. You don't really
Tax
care about
evading.
the
Yeah,
kids and shit. Like, come on now. You don't care about them kids, man.
no.
You're a fraud. You're a mayor of fraud. Like you don't
hmm
really
And
care
also,
about
the kids are
the money
safer
to
when
the
they're not being
kids.
hassled by the police. Like it's like it all works itself out. But that's the problem with like everything. This is getting deep here. Is because like in order for change to happen, like it's going to take time and effort and money. But people don't
Mm-hmm.
want to spend their money on problems, so nothing changes.
Yeah.
And it's like we have that here on Long Island with schools, right? Because like so a lot of times we have very high property taxes,
Mm-hmm.
and
For sure. Shit.
it's fucking expensive here. And so they raise them every year because we need taxes to pay for schools and certain programs so that people can get a better education, which is like the most important thing. But everyone then complains, well, I don't want to pay more in taxes because I don't want to fund blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, society is sort of a give and take thing, right? What you put into it, you get out. So you put in money in a tax system, they pay for the utilities that you use. But with the mayor's worried that they don't want to get reelected because all people are going to see is that they're paying cops more money. But it's like the cops need to also have an incentive to, to work, right? And if you take away their was it their overtime pay, now they feel like, well, what's the point of working if I'm just going to get not going to get paid as much as I would be.
Yeah.
It's
I got another
it's
question
like a
too.
knot that they're all tied in, right? You know what I mean? And the more they try to figure it out, it's like they can't untie this knot of how to pay for everything in a reasonable way.
Yeah. So I guess, and I think I asked this question a few episodes ago. If cops, what are cops doing if they are not policing? Like if they're going to punch the clock every day and they don't want to get out of the car or do anything, so they just sit in the car and just like
I think they just spend
what
their
are all
time
these
doing
cops
bullshit.
doing around this time if nobody wants to police? Like
I think they're just
what are they doing?
bullshitting away their days. Like, they'll make like they'll spend a long amount of time on something that doesn't need to take that much time. Essentially, it's like they're acting like a guy that put in his 2 weeks
Slow,
notice and
slowing
just
down, slowing down the workday.
yeah, exactly.
Working,
Just they're doing what they did in season two. It was playing fucking cards or something.
Oh, you
Um,
mean
in
when
the
Val Smith walked in?
guys, ugh, just disgusted by those
He
guys.
almost spit on the floor.
It's like, ugh. Oh
That's
man,
my
I
boy. I
love
love
that
Val
show.
Shit. That's my
Yeah, he's
boy.
the man. He's the man.
He
Yeah, that's
is.
a good. I mean, I think they, like Jesse said, they just slow down the work because they feel like they have no incentive to work. Like if people are gonna, they don't want to get in trouble for
Convicted
stuff,
for wrongful
which
arrest type shit.
which it's like if you were following um, it's
And,
pretty
it,
hard
and
to get convicted as a cop too. You have
facts
a
for sure. You gotta do some.
you,
You gotta do some shit for sure.
yeah. You have to
Um,
really break the rules for a
for
long
sure.
time to where
And
people are
even
like, you can't get away with this for long.
even touching on that, Jack, what you just said, even Wayne when he's talking to Gondo and Ram, he's like, man, this shit could take years. Like it's like
Right.
even acknowledging that they're looking at them, it's like, oh, well, shit, we the
Who
cops, man.
cares?
This should take years for them to catch us.
And
Like
also, he said he said at the beginning, he's like, cops could pretty much write their way out of anything. It's like,
yep,
no,
that's a fact. Yep,
fair
you
enough.
did. That's how the show opens.
Yeah.
Yep, you're right.
So it's like you
Um,
can't be the victim and then also be like, well, we can get away. It's like it doesn't. Their defenses don't line up. But I
right.
understand from Commissioner Davis's perspective, and I do think there's a need for a police force, and they do need to be paid appropriately and have the right technology. So, like I said, it's like an impossible situation, right? She can't pay for this thing without taking it out of like schools and everything.
Yep,
But then, like the money has to come from somewhere,
you got to cut
and
somewhere.
it's like no matter what you do, it's like one of Carcetti said, the guy who told Carcetti's former mayor, is like every day you eat a bucket of shit, and then you keep eating it. But the right problems can be solved if you have like actually decent people who aren't corrupt scumbags
who
in
want to
charge
take control and take action for sure.
and actually get things done, right?
And
Um,
that's actually a great lead into this next scene, Jack.
mhm,
Is Nicole Steele talking to the individual in the little coffee
yeah.
shop about the
Also,
decision?
Davis realizes like they're gonna fire him and pull
Yeah,
him
he
in the
knows.
hole.
He knows.
It's all the shit roll. It shit rolls downhill,
Shit
right?
rolls, pitch trickles.
And everyone in below you, like they're gonna find somebody else to throw them out. It's like
the
today. Anytime somebody gets in trouble, a politician gets in trouble, just blame one of your interns. Who cares? And
Yep,
then that happens. Find somebody below you and pin
to
the whole
blame.
thing. This
The
person
case
did this shit.
the
Fuck them.
case is one of the biggest in American police history. Yes, Commissioner Davis, you were going to get fired. It
Right.
wasn't no way around it. You were going to get fired no matter what. This
Hmm.
case was unbelievable. Like if you tally up, really they all got off relatively light in terms of the crimes that they really committed and the stuff that they didn't get charged for. These cops really got off super light. Like,
Hmm.
especially Ray, he got at least 3 bodies on him that we know of as a cop. He
Right.
has at least 3 killings that we know of in the show and that he beat for sure. So he got 3 murders on him as a cop. And I think he got 10 years. I think it was 10 years or 12 years, something like that. But it leads into the scene with Nicole Steele and that character who is Donut from The Wire.
Mhm.
Um,
Donut.
yeah,
Oh
that's
wow.
Donut from The Wire. Yeah,
Wow.
and
Well,
the scene that y'all see him in when he's talking to her about like essentially you're telling me they're giving us new rules how to police us when we're the people who they police and beat on. You're just telling me you just giving them new ways to beat on us. His dialogue in this show and in this scene and in the other scene from I think episode 4 on Maestro's podcast, whenever he's on there, he is who he is in this show. Like he's very aware of stuff. He speaks very profoundly. Like it's very much so what's in this scene in the show kind of thing when he talks. He definitely, I don't know if he does other public speaking. I know he's an actor, but like he has a great speaking
it does.
control over his voice. Like he even on the little podcast with Randy, it's like he takes time before he speaks, and when he speaks, it's like you understand it. It's clear. Like he's a great speaker. So this
That's what
scene is very much his personality when he's talking to Nicole Steele. That's how he is in real life. Like from what I've seen from Maestro's podcast, this is how he is in real life. Like
Shout out to Maestro. Saw you on Lincoln Lawyer, brother. Saw you. I saw you.
yeah, and
nice.
Maestro is we're gonna ramp up season 4 this year at some point in time, and we'll look for part 2 because it's coming. We know it's coming
Oh,
with you. So
yeah, for
um
sure.
but yeah, they're talking about essentially the consent decree and
Right.
how things won't change essentially.
And
That's
also Commissioner Davis, before when he's kind of leaving, it did remind me of Burrell leaving, and just that feeling of your time is up. It's like you're on death row. Because the thing is like retiring is a lot different than getting fired.
yep.
And getting fired because of a new administration, you're getting fired because you're seen as not doing a good job, and that's the way your legacy will be. And that's a heavy thing to carry. Of like, my legacy is this guy who disappointed the city and failed in his duties as commissioner, even though it's like we kept saying, he did get sorry, he was put between a rock and a hard place with his position where
Hmm.
nobody on either side wanted to listen to what he had to say, and the change was impossible anyway. So yeah. um but this guy that's talking, I was thinking about it. It's like the origins of policing really is fucked up in this country. At least the difference between, Maryland was a slave state
Mm,
until the Civil War, and a lot of modern policing in America can be traced back to like slave catchers in the
yeah.
1800s, and since the colonies were, because in the South, there was everyone was spread out so much. There was so few people in a town, right? So if there was like a crime, like someone was like, Gilbert stole my horse or whatever, they didn't have like an agency to deal with that shit. You just had to
Mhm.
kind of deal with it yourself. It's why a lot of people had guns.
Yeah.
Most laws were just solved by the people themselves. Most crimes. In the North, there was different, where most they had sort of this watchman organization, or is like a night watchman or a day watchman. They weren't officially like government employees, but they were mostly on a voluntary force to keep order within. And then each town had like a sheriff that was mainly responsible for keeping the law. But in terms of like most crimes, quote unquote, there was slave catchers, and their jobs were to catch runaway slaves. So him saying like, what did I say? So
No,
or?
not smiling at you.
No,
My wife,
I
my
thought
wife
you was
just walked
laughing. I
in.
thought you
Yeah,
was
no, I
laughing
was
at my
probably
hat
looking
because my
crazy.
hat was
uh,
my hat is like this. So
My
like,
wife just walked in. I was
oh,
that's
I didn't know.
definitely
Okay, I was like that far.
I
Sorry.
that
thought
probably looked so crazy me smiling at what you were saying, Jack. No,
That's,
my wife, it's my wife.
and I felt bad for smiling too, but he made me he made me laugh because he was laughing, and I was like this with my hat.
Nah,
So I thought he
I
was
saw
like,
my wife's face. That's all.
I
That's what
was
it
like,
was.
fuck, am I wrong in this? Am I just saying
No,
bullshit?
no, no, no. It's just because I saw her
actually,
face. That's
I
all.
apologize for laughing too.
I don't
Leland's
know. I
laugh
don't
made
care
me
personally.
laugh.
I was confused. I was like, did I get something
No,
wrong?
my fault. My
No,
fault. It was
no,
my
no.
fault.
But
It was
Leland's
my
like,
laugh made me laugh, and he was laughing because of something you saw off screen. So
yeah, no, it
it's
was my
fine.
wife. It was just seeing my wife's face.
you're
Um,
like, I'm having this fucking like Sorry, but this white guy is talking to us about slave catchers. We're gonna
Yeah, no,
it's
that no,
time
that look,
to.
no, that look crazy. Nah, it's just
That's
outside.
funny as fuck. But yeah, so
So
that's like where it came from. So it's like the origins of policing have that way. So I get why people have this view of like, look, this thing is corrupt. But at the end of the day, there is a lot of crime regardless, and there does need to be some kind of agency to deal with it. I mean,
right,
we
we can't
can't live in
police
this.
ourselves, right?
Right. You can't,
You know,
it's like there has to be some sort of agency to take care of that. You can never like abolish the police. Like you need, so reform is necessary. But I do get where he's coming from, where he just feels like, look, these people are here to just fucking kill us, and like,
right.
how are you going to change that?
What do
You're
you want
just
to say?
like,
He's giving them more ways for them to police us. In an
right.
hour and 25 minutes in, we want to say please like, share,
Right.
subscribe, comment. Wiretap Truth. We appreciate all the love. We are approaching 145,000 views, I think, something like that.
Oh,
So
yeah. And
we
almost
appreciate all the
300
love.
subscribers. So
Yes, yes, yes. Please subscribe. Please
Subscribe, please
comment.
subscribe.
Please show us love. Please tap in with us. We appreciate it.
Subscribe,
Um,
leave comments.
so let's see, where are we at, Jack? Oh,
oh, yeah.
340
I'm also,
murders.
yeah,
Let me just say that little fact right there.
almost a murder a day.
340 murders, and it's 365 days in a year. That's like, so you mean to tell me only 25 days in Baltimore there's not a murder on the ground? Like that
Yeah.
sounds insane to me. Okay,
It's
that
on
is
happened on opposite day. They're like, let's not murder people today because
like
this.
340 murders. It's 365 days.
Yeah,
Like
dude,
that's insane.
that is insane. And I
That's
wonder how
crazy.
much. I wonder what the clearance rate is too.
Probably
Is
what
that
they say in the wire. What was Raw saying, Jack?
it was a lot less than
40%.
50%. Yeah,
Right. 40%. We
and
solving 40% of the murders. Like that's crazy work.
yeah, dude, and that's So he's saying like Davis is saying like we need more money to solve this, and so it's a constant back and forth where there's no easy solution.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and but like I don't know, the thing with Nicole Steele, her whole arc as a character is just weird to me because it's just like she starts off so motivated, and then she's just like, "Fuck this, I don't want
Well,
to be
it's
part of this
because the turn of
anymore."
the election. That's where
Yeah,
her motivation decreases. It's because it's like, oh, well, shit. This is the administration that's about to take over. I mean, my whole
right.
department pretty much would be obsolete. Like, you know.
Yeah,
So that's where her ambition and essentially where her determination to do well or continue to do what she's doing is lost. She like, well, when they take over in January, shit. I mean, we fucked pretty much.
right. I mean, she's not entirely wrong because he did cut a lot of uh workers that were, but even though she's a civil service workers, they did cut a lot of departments. My whole philosophy, I guess, is like, look, you got to always try no matter what, because it's
Yeah,
like if you don't try, if you just give up, then that lets like fascism take over and all that. So
but
it's like you have to keep
it's
trying.
it's also like, well, if I know that I'm fighting a fight that I can't win, why should I keep fighting? Kind of thing. It's like
Yeah,
it's some of that. So
why else?
I kind of see it both ways. I see
Right,
like
yeah.
why she did it, but it's also like, well, this is your job, kind of thing. So it's
Yeah,
like,
I
man,
also just feel like
I'm
if it's
kind of
your
like in
really
the
your
middle
passion,
of it.
you know,
And the
if it's
fact
really
that
your
I know she's
passion,
not a real person too. I don't think I fed in too much in terms of like her character arc kind of thing. Like I know she's
Mhm.
not real kind of thing, so I ain't really take it to heart too much. Kind of, I just like the character. I think she has some
Yeah,
great dialogue in the show. Like, but I
yeah.
don't think I even fed into. Oh shit! Why is she not motivated? No, I don't think I ever even because I know she's not real. That's kind of
Right.
like I don't even think I put my brain to it too tough.
I just felt, yeah, I guess I just felt like, look, if it's really your passion, the fight's never easy and it just gets harder and harder. But that's more the reason to keep going. But,
Yep.
like you said, she's not a real person. But it is funny how her job, like she's there to mentor that guy,
Yeah.
Ahmed.
Yeah.
And he's even says it is like, so my first year, my superior just like gives up. Like, that's
Yep.
got to be weird. The person you're training is just basically ends by being like, oh, yeah, all this is bullshit and like it's not gonna matter anyway. So good luck to you, and that's again that's kind of how she ends there.
But
the
I
the
mean, the
show
thing,
itself kind of gives up, which I get. So I totally get Jesse's criticism because at the end of the show they just, and I know we're gonna go over the other scenes. I'm just saying like the end of the show they kind of just like give up on having like a narrative essentially. And just
well,
like
because the scene where they're in court, which is a favorite scene of mine too, when they're in court and you're listening to the judge, she's
right,
so dismissive of people, and so
yes,
Nicole Steele is like, look around, step back and look around you,
hmm,
look at look at what we've built here. Whereas the people with the money and power have the advantage over those who don't, and essentially they are quick to throw us in jail, kind of thing. Like
and
so
she's
it's
not wrong,
the judge, the way the judge dismisses I think it was the second person she talked to. It's like, oh no, the lawyer is just right here in the hallway. She's like, oh, now you can wait. Next.
Hmm,
And then it's like, what was the third person? It was something about his charge, and then she's like, oh nope, bail denied. Boop, next. Like it not even giving you a chance to even plead your case or make your case for her to make a decision, kind of
right.
thing.
And
So
she's
I
not
kind
wrong because it is like their jobs is just like we are going after the people on the lower rung of the social ladder, right? The law
of, mhm,
benefits the rich and powerful.
yep.
So yeah, I get
And
where she's coming from there.
speaking of Nicole Steele, I never know this lady's name, the other lady who she's talking to, but it's her talking about essentially the administration taking over. And the
Mhm.
other lady is pretty much telling her, like, yeah, it's not really much that we can do, kind of thing. So that scene too is kind of like a scene to Nicole's thoughts in terms of
Right.
why she might want to leave, because she's essentially telling her, like, yeah, it ain't much that you can do. There ain't much more you can do, kind of thing.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Well, again, that's a lot of David Simon's philosophy too, and I kind of mentioned that how he does have this like pessimistic view of change and systems while also having like an optimistic view and appreciating the beauty of life and humanity, which
mhm.
is like the contrast of what makes The Wire so genius and why the show is good, but it definitely feels more just like um bleak in its outlook of everything. And that's
Well,
kind of why.
I heard even though it's like David Simon's name attached, George Pelicanos was the main person. It was more his
His
vision.
vision.
Hmm.
Okay, I could see. Oh, I was thinking him also with Ed Burns, um
I,
but yeah,
I, somebody somebody inside the so one of the members that we've had on told me it was more George's was the main guy
okay,
behind his vision, his story, his
I got.
yeah.
It's also interesting that they put in this about the consent decree. They read that when Jenkins wants to put in for the transfer, his
Mm-hmm.
supervisor, his sergeant, reads that to him. The nice thing that Commissioner Davis wrote about them, like you guys get all these guns off. Again, he just doesn't feel appreciated either by his peers or by the people that on the opposing side or by anyone, and he just wants to be
Mm-hmm.
respected. That's the core of his character.
And
Uh,
also too, Jack. Before that scene, the FBI, they're talking about Gladstone,
mhm.
planting the BB pistols. I just want to
Yeah.
touch.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
gonna talk about him later, but I just wanted to talk about that. Yeah, yeah,
He yeah, so the BB pistols that they found, which is like pretty creative.
yeah. For sure.
They use that to replicate a real gun. I guess because the ballistics experts don't check to see if there's like BB pistols and like BB pellets in there. Um, but yeah, the idea that he talks about like why did you defend him, and he's like, well, this is like a brotherhood, and he mentions like I would do the same. He says like all these people would do the same thing for me, and then we see all these like cops rolling on each other. So it's like,
Yeah.
well, maybe not.
And after Wayne Jenkins talks to his, I don't know if that's is that his who is she? Is that his lieutenant or colonel or
I think
sergeant?
lieutenant,
Who is she?
one of the higher ups.
One of the
Yeah.
higher ups. Yeah, she's his superior. And
Hmm.
then it goes to him, Gondo, and Ram in the strip club talking about how people are calling him dirty, and Wayne Jenkins like people saying I'm a dirty cop.
Yeah.
Like, well, shit, ain't you that motherfucker? Like, aren't you a dirty cop? Like, he's like, no, I mean, but they talk about my name and shit. Like,
Right.
bro, you are the dirtiest cop maybe ever. Right, you know,
Well, that
maybe
speaks
all
also
time.
to Rayam and Gondo's character because they're more self-aware. They understand the
For
grad. That's
sure.
why they're more willing to testify or give people up because they more understand. Like, look, we're fucked, and
Y'all
we know
know what?
this is coming.
When I didn't even take this note down, and I would have forgot if you didn't just say his name, Jack. Um, Gondo said that I think this might be a hole in the show. Gondo said, "Didn't I tell you about the FBI investigation?" I thought
Right.
it was Wayne who told them about it. Because how would Gondo catch wind of the investigation about him? He wouldn't.
Oh,
I
true.
think, I think that's a hole in the script. I don't
Hmm.
I don't think that I don't think that was I don't think that was worded correctly based on us
Uh,
knowing that it was Wayne who got told by Gwen about the Gondo investigation. Gondo wouldn't have told Wayne about it. So that
oh,
writing is wrong.
wow.
Yeah, that
Good
writing is
catch.
wrong.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
Um,
I never, as many times I've seen the show, never caught that until
mhm,
I was taking the notes for the episode. But that's completely wrong. They got that
yeah,
completely wrong.
a good catch. And yeah, Wayne's just he cares about his reputation. You know how people perceive him, and that's why he puts in so much effort. One of the reasons he puts like he's like I want to go out and kick some butts so that
Yep.
to prove them wrong. Just
Right.
that's a
But
lot of what he wants to do.
but Jack, bro, he was even in the midst of the DA telling him like, "Hey, bro, my client told me you didn't turn in all the drugs you took." So in
Hmm.
the midst of the DA knowing he's dirty, in the midst of cops or lawyers not taking his cases, bro, you're still gonna hit the
Yeah,
same dude again, bro?
they
Like
just think they think they're untouchable, which is crazy. They think like he thinks no
what?
matter what I do, they're gonna yeah, like that's he he's an interesting guy because he just has this like massive ego, but at the same time this huge inferiority complex, which are
Like, bro,
contrasting ideas at the same. But it's just like,
that's
yeah, he thinks he
insane.
can't.
That's insane to me, family. That's
He can't.
insane, bro.
Yeah, he thinks he won't get caught, but he's also like annoyed that people even suspect him for doing the things that he's doing.
Almost like, man, how could they dare call me dirty?
Right.
What?
He's talking like dirty for real, which
Are
is
you
another
dumb?
thing because he thinks like he's making the distinction of people that just like are needlessly cruel, and he thinks what he's doing is just he has legitimate reasons. Look, I'm taking this extra money because fuck it, it's money and drug. Like who cares?
Yeah,
Uh, he's not thinking about the consequences of his actions, more just
yeah.
thinking of like the justifications.
And it's like y'all are acknowledging that y'all are being watched by the FBI, and
Right.
y'all are still like getting active and robbing. Like it's crazy to think. Like I don't know that part of it is baffling to me, kind of
Oh
thing.
yeah, they just had no idea. And then Sergeant Gladstone retires and starts a tire company, which I thought was.
Did
I'm
he
s-
really? Okay.
no, I'm kidding. I was thinking
Oh, okay. I was about to
Gladstone.
say, damn. I thought he went to jail. I'm
I
like,
was thinking of Gladstone tires. That's why I was.
okay. Oh
No,
shit. Okay.
stupid ass joke on my part.
Good ass joke, really though. No, that's a good
Yeah,
ass joke.
very dry delivery, I guess. Uh,
um,
let's talk
but
about the Sean Suiter, or
I was just about to say that, family.
yeah, that's a good place to touch on because I know
Bro,
Jesse also has a lot of opinions about how they handled
yeah,
his.
right. This definitely Jesse's time to talk about Sean Suiter. But just before we give it off to Jesse, did y'all catch when he was trying to pour the coffee and his hand was shaking?
Yeah.
I think that is such a good little just
Mhm.
bit of just brilliant acting on screen. Like it's just he's so fucking nervous. Like he
He's
can't
not
even.
even like, and then they do a good job of like tuning all the audio, the background audio out to show that he's like, he's there, but he's completely in a different place. He's in a different mindset than everyone. He thinks he's fucked. And it's that feeling of like, like, oh shit, my time is coming. Even though in reality it wasn't, but he just felt like this is going to be bad. And he's,
Is this considered a panic attack or no? Not necessarily.
it's close to it. I mean, well, I mean, he had a panic attack in the last episode when he went to the mirror, and
Right. Only reason I asked
sorry,
y'all
sorry.
that is because
I have panic.
when Hank found out that Walt was Heisenberg,
Hmm.
Like when like if you research that episode, it'll say like Hank has a panic attack. So I was
Right.
just trying to
Yeah.
compare the two, like because I mean he's shaking. He can't even pour a
Well,
coffee.
in the last episode, he definitely had a panic attack. That was more apparent. This one, I think, was just like a lot of anxiety. But I mean, I'm not. I don't. I'm not the expert, but
Right.
I
No, but I
would
think you're
say,
right. I think he's
yeah,
anxious and full of anxiety, but I
yeah.
don't think he's panicking
As
yet.
a guy who has panic attacks, it was very relatable. I will say, it was a
Yeah.
lot of the same characteristics of like everything. You're not even listening to other people and shit, and like
Um,
you know.
but we got about 20 minutes too,
Oh yeah,
y'all.
yeah.
So
So
um
his
Jesse,
coworkers were
go ahead and
yeah.
touch on Sean Suter. I know you got some stuff you want to touch on from the documentary.
Yeah, so just I just thought that the storyline that they went with, and I guess George Pelicano's. I guess this is the homework that he believed in, but from my understanding, it was the way they portrayed it. Suter is says, "Hey, look, there's somebody there. Hey, let's roll around." They give the goodbye to him. Um,
Yeah.
that it's obvious that he he got this planned and he wanted to go see that spot where he first started,
Well, as soon
and
as
now
they go there, as the audience that he's gonna die. Like as soon as he
right,
goes to that spot, okay.
right. So the four like he was like, okay, and now I got this, and then hey, did you see that guy? In the documentary, Suda wasn't even like it wasn't his idea to go outside. It was a rookie guy who told him, hey, we got to go on the thing. The
Yeah.
person that actually so I don't even know if that stop to that first thing happened. Um, the person that they chased was a person from earlier that day, and the reporter on the documentary kind of said if they went to the crime scene, he says if he's right, if Suda's right here, and the guy makes a left right here, and they show that alley, he's like he's gone. He's like
Mm.
that guy's gone. He said I think they said the guy had stripes or something, which could mean that he was law enforcement. Um, Suter's Suter got killed, shot to the right of the head. At first they said the left, but that was wrong. It was to the right, which made it more of a suicide. But his radio never fell out. They're like, why didn't his radio fall out of his hand if he got shot this way?
Mm-hmm.
If he committed suicide, his radio would fall out his hand. Um, so uh, and yeah, it was just a lot of questions of like why the like this person that Suda was chasing wasn't a ghost like they do on the show. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this was handled in the best possible way after watching
So
the documentary.
what is the private investigation that deemed his death a suicide? Who conducted that? What is that about? Where like where is that information in terms of I guess comparing the narrative of what happened in that documentary versus the private investigation? Because I mean, if we know David Simon, do you think he would if the evidence wasn't credible from that investigation? You think he would even put it into the show? Like
Well, it was deemed a suicide. Um,
Right.
so they
I
they
thought it was still considered a homicide, and the investigation deemed that he did die by suicide, but his cause of death is still technically
Technically a
reported as a
homicide.
homicide. That's what
oh
it
you
said at
might
the end of the show.
yeah you might be right. Yeah, you might be right. I mean, he probably just went with the story that because there is a story where they believe that Suda did kill himself. Maybe the story that they heard, they believe that he killed himself. After watching the documentary, I'm not really convinced by that. And you
Did
know,
the
they
documentary
were right.
touch on the investigation? Because I didn't finish it, so I'm gonna speak on it without finishing it. But did that documentary touch on the private investigation?
Well, yeah, they said. What do you mean the private investigation?
The At the end of We Own This City, after they show the death of Sean Suter, that's what
Yeah,
flashes on the screen. That a private investigation, a private investigation conducted later, concluded that Sean Suter died by suicide.
yeah,
But
yeah, because they said
the
that.
cause of death is
Yeah,
still
Yeah,
noted
because at
as
first they
homicide.
said that the bullet wound was from the left hand, so that they were like, it would be weird if he said like this and killed himself. But then when it came from the right, the fact that there was no no person ever found that just ran away that killed him. Uh, and then
But isn't he a homicide detective?
yeah,
Mm,
Like, wouldn't he know how to, like, you know what I'm saying?
right,
Like, wouldn't he know how to?
right.
He's a homicide detective. Not
would he
that
know
not
how to kill himself?
and
Yeah,
after watching the documentary, I wanted to say,
yeah.
like, like,
They don't. I mean, but why didn't the radio fall out of his hand? Why was it possible that this guy could have disappeared into those back alleys and they didn't say nothing? Why did they let us believe the theory that this guy took a rookie cop with him out onto the streets, meaning that he wanted somebody less knowledgeable, when the truth was that the rookie cop actually asked, "Hey Sean, can you come with me out on the streets?" Why
mhm.
was it a day before he was about to testify against Wayne Jenkins? Why? You
But
know, there's a
why?
lot of
But
whys
also,
here.
but that's the thing though, because I could those questions about who did it, if they think it's a cop, if they were all locked up, how would they know he's about to testify? They wouldn't.
Right. But it's
They
all
just
No,
wouldn't.
like,
I'm sure. I don't know.
yeah.
They just
I'm sure
wouldn't.
they could have.
Like
They could
the
have got
evidence that you're
inside
talking
word.
about, Jesse, I hear you, and you're making me think like, damn, those are valid points. But the other side of it is, okay, well, if I do this to myself, my family is set for life. Okay, because I died in the line of duty.
Hmm.
If I have to, if they say that I took money and I get fired, my family doesn't get shit.
Right.
Okay. Period. I lose my job. I'm a dirty cop. I don't have a cop job. I don't have cop benefits. I got 5 kids and a wife. Okay. They don't get anything if I gotta go into court and now I'm a pariah in the department that testified against these cops. My family doesn't get anything. And if he really did take money, wouldn't he
Hmm.
think like, damn, I'm one of the only ones that's not caught up in this wiretap? Somebody could definitely say and bring up to save their own ass, like, oh shit, I did take money with him. I did do this. So what you just said, Jesse, it definitely is gonna make me go finish the documentary. But at the same time, there's a bunch of stuff where I'm like, mm, I don't know. I
Well,
don't know. Now I'm 50-50. I don't know.
that's
Well,
the argument for why he
yeah.
did it. I mean, it's what you want, choose
But
to
also,
believe.
like, the thing is, I mean, for me, always I need like a lot of proof. But also, it's like the idea is like, I don't know. The guy also could just have like underlying mental health issues that people don't know about. You know what I mean? I mean, for someone to be to do something like that, they have to. I will say that the story, it doesn't, in the show, it doesn't make sense that he kills himself because they never show evidence that he had mental health issues. It kind of comes out of nowhere, like,
Right,
and
but
you
if
know.
and listen, I'm glad you said that, Jack. When they find out that Sean Suiter just is dead, I don't even want to say just killed himself because I don't know yet. So when they found out that he's been shot, and the cop gets up, right, and he's like, and he says, Ram was going to say that Sean Suiter took money, and then the other cop asked him, "Is that enough to?" And then he said, "For a cop, yeah." What does that mean? Do y'all know? Was he saying, is that enough for him to shoot himself, or is
That's what
that
I took it at, but I didn't know. I
okay?
wasn't sure
Okay,
Yeah.
about
that's what I
that.
thought too. That's what I thought too. Okay, just wanted to be sure. I
Um,
wasn't sure.
I don't know. I think the show could have left it more ambiguous, the ending,
Yeah.
but
No,
his
I
Well,
fate.
agree too because it was a, but also it's, it's sad. Yeah, I definitely agree with
well,
that.
I think
But
I think Jesse and Jack, the show, and we got about 12 minutes, y'all. So we're gonna wrap
uh,
up soon. I think that the
Yeah, I'm
show did a
surprised
good
we
job.
just on the recap. I
Yeah,
wasn't that crazy about
because
this whole
now we
thing,
went
but
left field. We talked about the Kardashians. We talked about
yeah,
OJ
yeah.
Simpson.
talking about
But
Diddy.
I think the show did a good job at in the show without
Hmm.
the facts at the end. In the show, it doesn't. We don't know if you leave the part about the private investigation out.
Hmm.
The show does leave it ambiguous because we don't
Right.
see a person. We don't see him doing it. We don't like we. If you leave that part out about the investigation, then it would have been completely like, damn, what happened? But David Simon has faced criticism about that too, Jesse. I don't know if you do that.
No, I didn't.
He's spoken on it, like in terms of, well, why did you put that in the show about it being a suicide? Like
Hmm.
why did you do that? So I'm gonna have to
What did
send
he
it.
say?
And what did he
But
say?
he said that it was like based on the evidence from the investigation, it was pretty clear that it was a suicide.
Well, that's fair. I mean,
You know.
but
Yeah.
anyway, we'll talk more about that another time.
Yeah,
Let's
we'll talk.
move
We'll talk
on
about it off
to
camera. Let's go ahead
the
and wrap up.
ending
We got
because
about 10 minutes.
I do love the ending. One thing I love the ending of this show. I think it's like beautifully done. It's poetic. You know,
Yep.
it ties everything in a bow. It ends with him having a flashback at first of that raid that we see originally when he looks in the closet and Ward's like
We
Jenkins, what
eat.
is it? And
Yeah.
he's like
Man, the
and at the
whole
first time, yeah, like we don't see him the first time, then we see, oh, it's all this drugs and all this money, and he's like,
that
fuck
man
this
took
world.
it looked like 2 kilos in one. It was
Mhm.
so big. And he just stuffed it in his vest.
Oh yeah, and then we
And
see
I'm out.
him, yeah, and that's that like it's just so much shit, and we see him again like wishing that he didn't. I think in his head he's like, maybe I just
He's
shouldn't have
remorseful.
done all this
He
shit.
in court, Jack, when he's talking to the
Mhm.
judge, he's definitely sounding remorseful, because
Right,
he's
of
talking about
like
his kids. And as a father, I'm like, oh man, I feel for you, Wayne. But at the same time, if he never got caught, bro, come on, bro. He
he
would
would
have.
have he would have
He
kept
would.
doing it. Yeah.
Come on, bro. He wouldn't have even cared if he never
Oh
got caught.
yeah, he's not
Like,
sorry. He's sorry because he got caught,
sorry
not because
because
of
he
what
got
he
caught.
did.
Right. So
But
go ahead.
no, what were you saying?
I was gonna say I wanted to just say the Nicole Steele dialogue. She says, we've built this machine where half the damn country, the part with money and power, what did she say? Lock up the other half, who didn't have anything to begin with. Now watch it work. This is what we get when we have the Freddie Grays, the Eric Garners, the Michael Browns. This is what we get in every page, in every court order that we have. It won't fix it. No, it was something like that. Like,
Yeah, and I mean, she makes a great point. It's about that. Um, yeah. So yeah, she makes a great point. I just felt like, oh, okay, I guess that's
yeah,
that. But she,
yeah,
the last scene, I really love the way it's done because he's speaking to all that group of cadets from the first time,
yep.
and this happens because it's a memory. He's allowing the memory to become a fantasy, and he's
Mhm.
seeing all of those cops that he worked with: Ram, Gondo, Herschel, and the Commissioner Davis, and the guy with his mustache who is like a sergeant.
Yep.
And he ends his speech by saying like protect each other, which none of them did, and he gets emotional, and they all stand up and give him an applause, and it's like
So
that's his
that's
fantasy. It's like what he wanted. You know what
that
I
is
mean?
that what that is that what that's supposed to be?
That's what I thought. That what I took it as like this is in his mind. This is how he wanted this
Well,
to
I
go.
thought
He
according to
just always
Andre,
wanted. Oh,
I
sorry,
thought
good.
according to Andre Severino, this was word for word speech he gave.
Right, but I'm talking about the reception afterwards and all those people being there. I think that in his mind was meant to be like this is how he always wanted to be treated by these people. Like I'm not
I
saying the speech was
You didn't
made. I'm
think so?
saying
I
I
don't know.
think that
I think
is.
could have
I
been
think
that
that's
happy
what it was.
about it. I think he could have got that reception.
I think in his mind, see, I think in his mind, he's like, this is what he always wants. That to me, it's great because it wraps the core of his character. He just wants to be appreciated. He wants to be seen as a hero, not just by like the people writing about him, but like the actual people he works with. He wants to be
Yeah.
seen as like this hero cop,
No,
and
for
that's
sure.
his fantasy. And then it cuts to his reality of what he actually is, which is now just
My
a
boy
guy in
locked up.
prison. And so now all he has are his fantasies to live with
Yep.
because he's got nothing else in jail.
So these last 7 minutes, I'm gonna run out. I'm gonna run out all of the charges, and then Jesse, if you can do our shout outs, you feel like doing our shout outs?
Yeah, I'll
But
do it.
I
Um, Shout out Mr. Donna Adrian Gibson. We usually shout you out in the
But
beginning.
I could be wrong. Could be as fantasy, but I could have actually happened. But I think it would be. I like it better as like that's what he
Thinking that it's a
imagined.
fantasy.
Ooh,
That's
No,
what
that's
I liked thinking that happened because it makes more sense. You know.
shout out Miss Donna Adrian Gibson. Always, we love you so much. Thank you for our gifts. Thank you for this hat. We love you so much. Miss Debbie Young, thank you so much. We love you as well so much. Let me go through the charges and then we'll run out. We'll run out everybody else's stuff. So, Wayne Jenkins got 25 years. Ram got 12 years. Gondo got 10 years, and he's been released. Okay. Ward got 7 years, and he served 70% of his. Sergeant Allers got 15 years. The police commissioner was he was fired 3 days before the trial. That's Davis. He was fired 3 days before the trial started.
And the deputy got in trouble.
Yep.
Yeah,
The deputy commissioner was what was it? He was accused of
he was
coaching.
coaching that guy,
Yep, coaching an officer during a police shooting.
which we
He
see him
denied.
do in the
Yep,
flashback.
for sure. No, for sure. He denied doing so. He resigned the same day. The new commissioner, he resigned 4 months in because he was convicted of federal tax evasion. Okay.
Jesus. Just
Um,
every person's guilty. Like every single person. And it's
a year,
hilarious when they show that
when
he's
they
like, we're
show
gonna
all the
make a
crimes, right?
change, and then they just like, nope.
A year later, the mayor pleaded guilty to conspiracy for tax evasion and fraud and was sentenced to 3 years. This is the mayor of Baltimore. And then Herschel went to. He was the only one that went to him and what's his name? It was another. It was Herschel and somebody else. They went to federal court and they were convicted of 18 years. And Herschel died in prison. I would say God rest his soul, but fuck him. Um, and then since 2015, the city has averaged over 300 murders a year since 2015 consecutively. So that is we own the city.
So
One of
300
my favorite
times
shows. I know
10.
my co-hosts they ain't like it as much as I love it.
I like. I think it was so. That's 3,000 murders since that happened, like give or take.
That's
You know?
insane. No,
So
that's crazy.
I liked it. I'm not saying I don't think it was like a
No, I
bad
said y'all
show at
don't like
all.
it as much as I like it.
I
I
think it
love
was
it.
I think it was a really good show. Like I
Yeah,
think
I love
I
it.
don't go in there. Like in my opinion, don't go in there expecting to be as good as The Wire. But it's like a
Right.
really engaging, well made, very good show about the police, and I thought it was great. I thought it was
Yeah.
really good. I'm not saying it's beyond like there's nothing. You know, when I criticize stuff, sometimes I get a little nitpicky, which is my own fault. But I do. You know, it's not without its flaws, but I
Right.
do think that it's like a good show. I'd give it like a B plus. I'd say.
Good
all right.
shit.
I didn't like the series finale. I was over the show by this time. I thought it was a couple of good episodes. I probably will not rewatch this for a while though. But I think the costume was on point and the makeup was one of the best I've ever seen.
Of
Shout
course.
And you're unbiased with that opinion, right? That's
No,
totally
we're
there's
so biased.
nothing to do with the fact that we interviewed those people, right? That's of course.
shout
What
out
would
to
Oh,
you give it out at like an A to F? What would you say?
Let's see. I
Yeah.
I would rather watch documentaries on it. I probably won't revisit this for a while. Um, Shout out to but John Burton did some great acting. Real quick right now. Okay, shout out Donna Adrian Gibson, executive producer of the show. Thank you for the recommendation documentary. Actually, we're gonna revisit Deanna Ogle. Shout out to you. I want to do a recap with them too. Probably rewatching the episode that Deanna's on. I think that would be fun, like we did with Kamal Bostic Smith. Kamal Bostic Smith. Check him out on his YouTube channel, Michael Kevin Darnall. If you Google these people and just write in their name and put Instagram, their Instagram will come out. Just be on the lookout what he's always up to. Amber Nelson is always doing something. Amanda Johnson has an art gallery in Florida that we have the link to downstairs.
yeah.
Downstairs down there. Alonzo Wilson has a nonprofit charity that we
SMPRise.org.
there we go. Um, Shout out to Dan DeLuca. Watch the Night Watchmen, who we're gonna cover soon.
Yep.
And fuck. I'm Maestro Harrell. Look
Drake.
for him
Drake.
on Nike
Andre.
Noise. Andre Severino. Check out his podcast. He had a good interview with John Burntown. And Debbie Young, check her out, her Instagram. And I'm lost. I'm lost. Go ahead.
The only one you're missing is Trey Shaney, bro. You killed it.
Shane,
Check out ShaneyWay.com. And then check out Maestro's podcast on YouTube. They do a Wire rewatch. Not a Wire rewatch, but a Wire Wednesdays every Wednesday. So this has been We Own This City. We appreciate everybody that's tuned in. Yes, we are coming back to the Wire. We never left, but we are
Never
back.
left.
Now that we're done with the We Own This City, we will be fully all in on the Wire. If you all have Wire concepts you want us to talk about, please tap in. Please message us. If you want to book any of us for any voiceover work, any commercial casting, please message us. We can be reached at wiretaptruths@gmail.com. Again, this has been We Own This City Breakdown. We love
Making
our
it within 20 seconds. Fuck yeah.
Yep. Yep. We appreciate all the fans. Thank you so much. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. The Wiretap Truths. We appreciate it all, and we'll see you all soon.
Peace.